Hello, everybody. Welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming's coverage on the semi-final game of Brass. This is our last semi-final game that we are releasing, and it is going to be an awesome one. I'm Chris George. I'm WSBG's director of production, but I am joined as our special co-commentator, a huge treat, the two-time Brass world champion, the two-time ring winner, Jukka Otonen. Jukka, how's it going?
It's going great, Chris, and thanks for having me here. And I'm really excited about it, and I feel also honored to be a part of this.
Honestly, I am honored to have you on the call. You won Brass Birmingham the ring in 2023. Then won your semifinal game. You know what this is like. You know what the stakes are like at this stage because the
Yes.
winner of this game will move on to the final table, which you
Yeah.
you have done 2 years in a row. You won Brass in 2023, drew Arc Nova as your semifinal game. Hadn't played Arc Nova, I think ever, right? In your first in
Yeah,
2023.
I played like one test game before it, and
Right.
that's it. And I actually one player of this grand semifinal table, Nick, taught me how to play Ark Nova like night prior, and we stayed up like till 3 a.m. and
Yeah.
big shout out to Nick, and really thankful about that because he helped me. And actually, it's a funny thing that in this semifinal table, the three players who I know really well from previous years.
Hmm.
Mike is one of the players who played in that Arc Nova
Right.
semifinal table, and then Jim, I played him in 22 in Castles of Burgundy semifinal table. So I know these players really well, and I know that they are like strong board break gamers.
Yeah.
I think Daniel is first year this
I think
time,
it's Daniel's
or
first year. Yeah.
yeah. So I haven't met him, but he's being in the semifinals, the grand semifinals. So he's a really good board gamer. So
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be an
yeah.
exciting matchup. And then in 2024, you did it again. You won the brass ring back to back. And then also got drawn into Arc Nova again and made your way into the final table as well. So 2 years in a
Yeah,
row.
yes, it was quite a deja vu experience for me winning brass two times in a row, then
Yeah.
getting that Arc Nova in grand semifinals twice in a row, and then being fourth in grand final table twice in a row. So yeah, but it was quite a ride, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, well, it is an absolute honor to have you here. I'm sure our players and our viewers watching at home are going to be very excited to hear your insight to this game. It should be noted that these players aren't necessarily super versed in brass, right? Some of them know brass pretty well, but none of them had made the final table in the ring final of brass, and so we're going to see some interesting gameplay, and we'll see how well these players adapt with drawing this game the night before, having to learn all the brass strategy that they can, having to balance that with deciding how much do you learn
Yeah.
and how much do you sleep, and then coming in to
Yes.
face off at this table.
Yes, and final day is like really tough because there's like 4 days prior, like
Yeah,
heavy board gaming. So there definitely will be like some mistakes because there's it's so heavy to your brain to
yeah,
have not enough sleep and then just keep playing like
yeah.
games you have to think all the time. So it's a tough spot, and who has the best nerve probably gonna be in a good shape. And yeah, and I want to talk about the Mike. He actually, for my knowledge, he wasn't that experienced about this
Right.
game, so he asked me to like give him a little prep like night before. So basically, I did to Mike same thing Nick did to me in 23. So we'll see how it goes.
Nice. We'll see how it plays out. Well, we'll turn
Yeah.
over to the table. We'll get the game started. But before we do, I have to let you know, viewers at home, if you're watching and you want to attend the World Series of Board Gaming 2026, our fifth year is coming up in 2026. Today, November 1st, when this video is dropping, this is the last day to use the early bird code. So this is your warning. If you're watching this right now and you haven't gotten your tickets, this is going to be the best deal ever that we will offer throughout the year. So if you want to get the best deal, lock down that discount on an already discounted bundle. We're getting it as low as we can. Make sure you buy your tickets at WSBGVegas.com. But for now, let's turn over the table and meet our players. Sound good, Yuka?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, in seat one, we have Nick Henning. Nick is one of the most dominant forces of the World Series. You can see he has the most rings out of any player. He has so many rings, they're falling off his fingers. In 2022, he won Dominant Species Marine and Great Western Trail. 2024, he won Lost Ruins of Arnak and Earth. And in 2025, he made his way to the finals again, repeating on the Lost Ruins of Arnak, taking home a total of 5 rings, I think 10 final tables. Nick is someone to be reckoned with. But beating Nick at this year's final table of Great Western Trail is Daniel. Daniel's coming all the way from Hong Kong, as we were saying in the intro. This is Daniel's first World Series of board gaming, coming in ready to take it on with all of his cowboy glory, perhaps his heavy game knowledge. He's coming to get you, and he is ready to face off in this brass game, not deterred by Nick's presence. In seat 3, we have Jim Sherrill, who is our 2025 Castles of Burgundy champion. Jim also made it to the final table of Castles of Burgundy in 2023, the first year that it was in the event, coming in second to winner Angela Tao. The Castles of Burgundy champion has gone on to win the World Series of Board Gaming 2 years in a row, so maybe this will be Jim's path to the final as he takes on Brass Birmingham in seat 3. And then finally in seat 4, we have Mike Tubzewski, who will be the chattiest person around the table. Mike won Wingspan in 2023 and won Acquire in 2025. Mike likes to say that he doesn't know how to play board gaming, but I think the 2 rings on his finger might signify a different story. Mike coming in that 4th seat in Brass Birmingham. So we see the players, they're dealing out the cards, they're burning the cards right now, and they are ready to get started for the game. You'll see that they're playing on a beautiful foil deck. The foil promo deck that every player got. These cards are awesome, and I'm so excited to have my own foil deck at home that I'm going to be using to track some of the things that are happening. I think we're going to have a pretty chatty table as we see the initial draw. But yeah, we have the initial setup, and it looks like there is no market happening over in Shrewsbury on the left side there. It seems like in the top up at Warrington, we have pottery and manufactured goods. Then there's more manufactured goods over at Nottingham. And then we have both cottons near the bottom. Right at the bottom, both cottons are stuck together. We also then have over in Oxford the 3 selling, so where we can all sell. We just also saw Nick flash his hand to us at the camera, and so we know Nick's initial hand starting from seat 1, which we might talk about in a second. But Yuka, when you look at this initial board, how are you feeling about the placements of where those markets are?
For me, it looks like that all strategies are viable. Like those exit delivery points are like really good placed, so you can go on any strategy. If you look at that south placement of cotton, it's actually a perfect setup for a big cotton or even mid-range cotton. So if I would be any of these players, I would try to like a little bit force myself to go for a cotton. If there's like even mediocre cotton hand, I still would try it, because those delivery points for cotton are so good in the south. And there's also a possibility of delivery cotton in Oxford.
Right.
So yeah, but all the strategies are viable. Yeah, even this specific setup is really good for big pottery, which is really hard to do in 4-player game, and like it's a really narrow path. I usually avoid it, but this specific map allows for a big pottery.
Cool. So all strategies are wide open there.
Yeah.
We did see Nick take the first initial turn. He discarded a card just to get rid of his beer. He developed his beer as his first action of the game, and that's a pretty standard opening move, right?
Yeah, yes, yes, and what also strikes to me that Daniel is on the second spot, and if I see his cards correctly, he has two iron cards, and
Hmm.
seeing Nick developing is like really great news for him because he can just take a loan and then he knows that he's going first on the second round, so
Right.
there's like level one, and then he can like delay for overbuild. So that's great news for Daniel because Nick developed as a first action.
Right. Yeah. Especially with getting those two iron, and we see Daniel take exactly that loan that you were just talking about, so that he'll be able to claim that first position, knowing that he can manipulate the turn order. One thing that I found really interesting when watching your games, Yuka, was watching you sort of thread the middle of the turn order. I felt like you often went second. You didn't necessarily go first in a lot of time because I know one of them was a three-player game, if I'm remembering correctly. How important is balancing that turn order, especially in a four-player game?
Uh, I would say that in like certain spots it's super important, but like sometimes I stick more with my strategy and plan to just like make more fluent. So
Right.
uh, like I wouldn't force myself to be first if it's like making my turn bad or
Yeah.
like inconvenient. So it's really important in like some spots. For example, who is going first on rail era? That's like one good example. And like in the very end of the game, you probably want to be last because you still have those options. Is if
Right.
there's no pressure for deliveries.
Yeah. For sure. We see also Jim decided to take a loan as well,
Yeah, pretty
and then we
standard
have
play.
Mike also taking a loan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so Nick being the only person to develop in that area, and now might be a nice time to talk about the hand that Nick flashed because he does have two cotton goods in his hand. So Nick's opening hand, according to my notes from his quick flash, was leek, stone, Kidderminster, cotton goods, pottery, coal, and then I think he had Birmingham in there as well. So he's got a lot of good cards in his hand.
Yeah.
Some cotton goods, which might make him lean towards big cotton. He does have that Kidderminster, which would be pretty integral to starting that big cotton train. Um, do you think we'll see? Does that seem like a reasonable push for Nick to jump into the cotton game? We were talking
Yeah.
about opening cotton hands. Would that lean towards that? It feels like it does.
Uh, yes, Nick's hands is pretty flexible in my opinion, and like Cotton strategy is really viable for him. But like with Cotton, you need to develop a lot. So if he don't get those spots to develop cheap,
Right.
I think his hand still has flexibility to go to the boxes. So I like Nick's hand.
And we see Daniel just placing a link with his first action between Gloucester and Redditch, and then using that iron to place into Redditch and immediately fill up the iron market as we were expecting he would do.
Yeah, and like uh, going for Redditch, it's it feels like Daniel don't wants to open other spots for other players because it's like quite in that own area. You can't connect it to Birmingham,
Right.
but there is that goal spot which actually because not any other player hasn't went to the map, they still can use that industry card to get that call on the board in
Right.
Redditch. So for example, we know that Nick has call card, so there's like might be chance Nick to take a loan and immediately pay it off with call card,
Right.
playing it in the Redditch. So he doesn't need specifically Redditch card.
Yeah, because that link's now on the table.
Yeah, yeah. And also, I think that sets Daniel also for that cotton strategy. He is now connected to those cotton delivery spots, and he can build another link to Worcester and start building up his cottons there.
Mm.
So I think, and if I saw correctly, he had 4 yellow cards,
Hmm.
which might not be Worcester and Kidderminster, and we know that Nick has one Kidderminster, but still, like I like Daniel's play a lot.
Yeah.
And then I will use my iron here to build level 1, which is $7.
So Jim also getting in on the iron, I think, the level one. He puts up a link connecting up to Nottingham there with the manufactured goods, and then he drops iron
Use iron. Yep. I don't know why I was gonna take from
just a little bit, not being able to capitalize like Daniel's capitalized, but now there's a lot of iron on the board. What do you think about that opening iron play? I guess Jim is hoping to use it for his own development.
Uh,
and then
I think
my draws.
Jim probably wants to pay his loan off, and now, like for Mike, there's a really great spot to double develop for free. So I'm not sure about that play. Like personally, I wouldn't do that, but we don't know Jim's hand, so maybe
Hmm.
he was forced to do that play. I would consider if he has coal industry card, I would consider to go to Redditch to pay
Right.
pay for his loan.
And that. That I definitely want to develop. That's garbage for me.
Yeah, we hear Mike talking to himself. I definitely want to develop. We'll let some of the table chatter come in a little bit more as the game progresses, as they're a decently chatty table for sure. What I really love about World Series is again, and Mike is a great character to bring this sort of happiness to the table, right?
Yes.
We already saw laughing at the table. I mean, the stakes are high in this game, but all these players like each other. All these players are part of the community. I think it's really nice to see. I think we're here. I just heard Mike say double develop.
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely go for that play in this spot because like you get it for free, and if Mike would have good cotton cards, I would consider to go big cotton in this spot because developing is free. Cotton strategy is really expensive, and when you get to do double develop for free, it's like perfect. But I
Right.
see that he is developing box, and his second develop is coal,
The beer,
right?
I think. Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
see just from the angle of the table. We had a bit of a side angle, so the bottom of Jim and
oh yeah,
Mike's
oh
boards
yeah,
are cut off.
oh
But we
yeah,
can.
right.
He did put the beer on the table, just above the iron market.
Oh yes, that's right. So
Yeah.
he developed level one box and level one beer. Yeah,
Yep.
that's pretty standard developing move. If he would have good beer cards in his hand, I would consider to do double develop of beer first, which Nick did on his first develop.
Hmm.
But Mike might want to put boxes early out, so we'll see.
6 final tables.
Yeah, I mean your gaming crew did really well here. Plus it's Colorado, which is just awesome. I didn't spend any money. Jim gave them to me for free.
So I know one of the common things that new players don't realize, and they see people developing off these level ones. How important is it to get a level two beer on the board? I know a lot of people want to wait to put their beer on the board because you get double beer when you're in the rail era versus the canal era, but you see in high level play that a lot of people end up developing off the beer and going for those level two and putting those level twos on the boards because they get the double points.
Yes, I feel like developing double beer is like necessary. in some really tight lines, you might develop only one beer and play level one beer. There is, for example, with big pottery, you might do it, but I mean, with big cotton, you might do that play, but it's very rare not to develop level one beers.
4 7.
Yeah, and we see Nick dropping beer, I think, up in we're gonna see it right now in Derby, up there.
Beers on the markets.
Indeed.
And then also, I think Nick took another develop action because I saw him spend 3 iron.
Yeah. So I think he's thinking about his developing.
Yeah, he hasn't quite decided what he's going to be developing. Oh, yeah, he says on the table, I've not developed yet.
Your cards disappeared, and that's why I got confused.
Okay. So Nick is developing, it looks like level 1 coal.
Yep.
So probably he is setting up play from Derby to Belper or Burton-on-Trent and do a double loan action in some point of game, because level 2 coal is the best coal building in the game, because you get 7 income up, so it pays off for you double loan, and you actually end up being in 1 income up. So probably Nick is setting up, and there there's two goal spots from Derby. So
Yeah.
that's decent play.
I don't think this is a powerful
Nick
forward
could consider to do a loan and go to Redditch with that call play, but like for me, this play also looks decent.
Pay your money, dummy.
I mean, that's what he was actually saying, but that's not the words he used.
Giving us a little bit more of a shot of his hand. We also see off to the side of Nick's Nick's board his 5 rings on display, which is such a glorious display, a glorious power move, but also potentially makes you a target at the table.
Yes, and for I think Nick developed level 1 cotton, if
Cotton.
I'm correct.
Yeah, he did.
Yes. So he is telling us that he is going for cotton. We will see. Will he try to pull off big cotton or mid-range cotton, which are both viable strategies?
Mm-hmm. And for those at home, what would be the difference between big cotton and mid-range cotton? Getting to the level 4 of big cotton is the goal?
Well, in Canal era, you try to develop level 1 and level 2 cottons, and then like in Dream, you get 3 level 3 cottons out, and you ship those all in Canal era. In mid-range, you develop only level 1s, and then you start putting up level 2s, and you try to also put 1 level 3. Or you can do it like also developing 3 level 1s, 1 level 2, and then put level 2 and 2 level 3s. So like,
Yeah, do I get an extra 8 points if I just play open-handed? Like, I am here for that. Okay, so I'm gonna drop a rail for $3 in here.
Yeah, this is a great spot for Mike to
This one.
put iron up, and I think there will be still 1 iron left.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a first in turn order, so he will get to pay his loan off with this play. Yeah, this is pretty standard play and good play by Mike.
He must have had a good teacher.
Yeah.
We'll see. I hope I help him.
And then
Then I'm
you
gonna take my-
hang on.
Wait.
You need to
Oh, I
produce your
gotta
iron.
produce. Thank you, sir.
But plays that Mike has been doing, like I would do everything like in the same turn order. But
Yeah.
I don't know his hand, but like plays he had done so far are like straight out of like textbook press.
Right.
But there's the levels of like you messing this up so you don't get paid.
Yeah,
and
but
you
not
didn't
this
break
time,
the rules.
because
Okay.
this time you also messed the other guys that we
It
don't get
changes the board state.
Well, hopefully all y'all just help me catch all my mistakes. Okay, so there we go.
I'll say one thing in the future. It's better if you do it like Nick did it. Put the canal here.
Okay.
Make sure costs are legal, then place it.
Okay.
That way later on it doesn't get mixed in and
Okay.
confused.
You got it. I will just make change because that was part of it.
And we had a
This is gonna come
like small glimpse of Daniel's hand in the beginning. He had those two irons, and then I saw 4 yellow cards
Yep.
and maybe 1 red and some other card. But like him seeing Nick developing level 1 cotton might hinders him to go building those links to Worcester and Kidderminster because you are helping out to put those industries. Nick, so we'll see how it goes because you don't want to help too much other players by building links. Like in optimal round, you build only 2 or 3 links.
Right. Even though you're going to get points for the links, the larger points for the links happen in the second era, in the rail era anyway.
Yes.
And so by building those links, you are giving turn efficiency to somebody who might be going for big cotton. And
Hey, guess who doesn't know a dead anymore? This guy.
Mike very happy with Daniel's move. Mike's loan is paid off.
So it's 8. I will selection.
So Daniel developed his level 1 beers,
Yeah.
and he's going for a beer play, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Be playing that beer play up in.
The beer is 8.
Looks like Burton on Trent.
I was looking at the bottom row.
No.
Stafford?
Oh, Stafford. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a nice safe beer right now. One of my favorite places, obviously the best place to place beer in the Canal era is up in Uxeter, in that center area where nobody can connect to it with their links, and you just get to claim that spot and lock it down, and hopefully later on get a bunch of points with your links out of there.
Yes.
Yeah, how important is it right now to not give players access to your beer? Generally, you want to use your own beer, right? I find another initial rookie play is, oh, you're trying to use the market beers rather than your own beer. But I think you'll see at a higher level play, you only use the market beers when you really need it and you don't have that turn efficiency.
Yeah, like if you think about beer, you get 10 points out of it, and income is really good. So I would say that beer is like clearly the best industry in the game. If you think about cost efficiency and what it does. So putting those your own beers up, like it's, I think it depends on your hand. If you don't get beer cards, of course, you might like hinder your beer development, but they are highly competed in high level games. So going clinch those beer spots early on is like really nice way to go, because usually you don't have to put beers up early in the game because you want to set off your loan, but and the beer plays, usually there's high competition in the middle of the game when you try to clinch those spots, but if you have opportunity to clinch those spots early on, it's probably will work out well for
So
you.
you're saying we can do something.
I didn't quite catch the table chatter there, but I
I was
think
told
Mike
that the
was.
best strategy was a big pottery game in a 4-player game.
Really? Are you sure?
They were like, you see those pots? You're not good enough to even look at those. Anytime you see a pot card, just throw that thing away and use it for a rail. And it was like,
This is one of the best setups for a big pottery game.
what you have.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, that's right.
Like this
What Nick
board
is saying.
Oh, the board setup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that just because of the fact there's potteries on like north and
Yes,
south?
Coventry and Stoke-on-Trent. If you can connect these and that, then it's like the least work to make it
To
work.
make it viable.
It's so fucking awesome. I don't think I've ever played big pottery.
Well, they just straight up, they were like, in a 4-player game, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
They're like,
the thing Nick is talking about, like the big pottery game in four players, it's so narrow path, and like you need to have right cards. Delivery spots needs to be on the right locations.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to pull off. In some games, even though I have had like a decent hand for do that, it's still so risky, and it's really expensive way to play the
Right.
game. So I tend not to go for big pottery in 4-player game. I think it's more viable in 3-player game.
Yeah.
Not go big. So 4
Jim taking that advice and throwing away a pottery.
beers away. I'll leave it over here for now.
Yeah, and that's why you heard Mike saying where, listen, sometimes big pottery is viable, even with this board, but he's saying I'm not good enough at this game to worry about big pottery. I think you're absolutely right that it's high risk, and if you have another pathway, it's easier to get those points another way rather than putting all your eggs in the pottery basket and then getting blocked.
Yeah. And you still can build level 1 pottery in
Yeah.
Rail era, which is the only one industry you can do in Rail era.
Yeah.
And it's 10 points, so you can save pottery place for later in 4-player game.
Please go away.
Yeah, because it's going to be 10 points now or 10 points later anyway, so
Somebody else has drawn
Yeah.
up.
it's not like it can stick around.
I will take these 2 cards. I will pass to my.
Nope.
Nope.
Dang it, it's not
Oh my
clockwise. I have no
God.
utter fail this round. I am also going to go ahead and make a change because I have a debt to pay and I will have to be using soon.
Okay.
That Nick can take his turn while I'm just swapping these.
Okay. Yeah.
So Nick has developed one level 1 cotton, so he's in really tough spot because developing is now expensive. He probably don't want to do that, but this might be a good spot. He's in low money anyway to take that loan, and he set up that level 2 call for himself. So probably what Nick is thinking, putting Canal out of Derby to Burton-on-Trent or Belper,
They're not even in
take a loan, and I think he will go first. So on the next round he could do loan again and then put that call up, which will pay off for his double loan.
Yeah.
But if I can pull 40 points in Canal,
Lone Canal. So I'm gonna
And we see him do
get
exactly that.
$27 basically. Then put 3 on my spend. If that's cool with everyone.
Yeah.
jumped out 3.
I think what new players can learn while watching this game, you see how frequently the players are developing. You see how frequently the players are taking loan. Those are actions that exist for a reason in Brass Birmingham, and the players capitalizing on those, especially in the early game. It's okay to go into the negatives. I think a lot of newer players are worried to take a loan that'll put them into the negative income moment. But when you're getting 30 coins, paying 3 isn't that much.
Because they did that twice.
Yes, that's correct. And like you want to pay that loan relatively quickly, but still, like you don't have to be too much worry about if you pay it for 2 rounds. It's not optimal, of course, but
Yeah.
like it's how the game is designed to play. So you take
Right.
loan, you develop early on, and like setting up your strategy for a later game.
What's the ruling? What was the ruling on that?
I got to draw back up because you can always draw back up to your hand size at the end of the turn. I had to play down a tile for a turn, which was not the end of the world. But I was just like, oh, thank God. It would bug me for the next 2 hours where you two were whispering about, thank God it only took like 6 minutes.
Mike just talking about order of operations being so important at WSBG.
It's okay. Twice.
Just saying, relating to his acquire game where he forgot to draw back up to a tile, and so just being important of, they're all the players are going to, trying to keep each other on task, but also not make those mistakes.
And I draw
That's
some.
right.
What did I say about the computer doing this for me?
At least you know to trigger.
So
Also,
Nick will go first, I think, on next round, and we probably will see loan and call.
Lone call,
in
yeah.
Burton-on-Trent. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems pretty likely, especially having developed that off. And then second will be Jim Jim, having developed off his beer, um, and having taken some loans himself, Nick flashing again to the camera.
Happy when I comment on this later, right?
That's funny because I was gonna ask you too. Are they gonna ask you to commentate on your own one because you're the most qualified person to commentate on?
They
yours?
don't, but I do.
Nick also doing this for his own benefit for commentating later, because Nick also has his own YouTube channel, Phoenix, where he will do his own commentary. We'll get Nick to do some of the commentary for WSBG, but he does commentary on all the games as well, to share his knowledge and to help study up. And we see exactly that Cole play like you were talking about, Yuka.
Yeah, that's great play.
4-5 out.
Yeah, and I'm familiar with Nick's channel. I watch it sometimes, and I wish to watch it more. But like, there is like really good knowledge if you want to learn some WSBG games. Nick has vast knowledge of many games.
For sure. Well, there's a reason why he's made 10 final tables and is sitting there with 5 rings.
That's right, which is absolutely crazy. To
Yeah.
think, like,
I agreed. I was like, he should mathematically do there, and then I tried to count to 7 and failed.
now, like we don't know Jim's hand, but in this spot, I really wish, like, if I would be Jim, to have that level 1.
You know what feeling?
I mean, Iron Industry card in my
Yeah.
hand, because that's a great spot for that. You could take a loan and just overbuild your level 1 Iron with level 2 and pay off that loan immediately. If Jim's hand is not great, I would even consider to take a scout action and overbuild with industry card, industry wild card, and then you can save up the location wild card for later use, and it will give you a lot of flexibility in later on game. It also applies pressure to other players, because like now everybody knows that no one has wild cards, so there's like some really safe locations which you can hold for later play, which might force other players to do suboptimal plays, but we'll see what Jim is going to do. And if like Jim's hand is tough, it might be a good spot to take a wild. And Nick building that link also makes Jim tough, next play tough, because he can't expand to the south. Yeah. If of course he can have like location cards which don't require call. But now it's like he's in a bit of a tougher spot.
We've seen Jim just checking the deck there to see how many cards are left. I haven't been keeping track of their actions, but it seems like they'll be getting down to the moment where they aren't drawing cards pretty soon. They've each played 5 cards. I guess Nick has played more because he went first this round.
Yeah. So those are last cards. They are drawings. And like, especially in this point of the game, if Jim hand doesn't look great, Scout is really viable action. And in my opinion, Scout is undervalued action. Even when I play experienced players, they try to avoid scouting.
Yeah.
Of course, it's not gonna be the best game ever, most optimal game ever if you have to scout.
Right.
But like people not doing scouting, like in my opinion, they are avoiding doing scouting too often.
Yeah. I definitely fall into that trap because you want the perfect game, right? You want the perfect game. You don't want to waste that turn because you know there's only so many turns that you get, but it gives you such flexibility.
Yes, and people with who I have talked about scouting, like generally think that they will lose 1 lone action, but I see that you're probably gonna build 1 link less, which is like not end of the world in Canal era. It's probably not gonna be big points anyway, and you will set up your later play. You give yourself more flexibility to execute your later plays, and also you apply pressure to other players to do maybe suboptimal plays. For example, there's a Unionton card I think it's only one off, so somebody might feel pressure after knowing that there's a wild card in some player's hand, wild
Right.
location card, to play that Union Ton in some like bad spot.
Go ahead and get that beer. Put it on Trent. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jim drops the beer there, wanting to get that locked in. Paying a lot for that iron, though. The most he's paid, that $3 for the iron.
And that is great news for Daniel, because we know he is holding that second iron card in the hand, so this will be like a perfect spot for Daniel to do a loan and overbuild his level 2 iron.
Right.
Because Jim is, he is not overbuilding his iron, or he probably don't has a card to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that overbuild, again, people are usually worried to lose the points on the board, but essentially you're only losing 3 points by doing that, and you're saving yourself the efficiency of not needing to place it in a different spot.
Yes, and like it's a really convenient way to pay your set off your loan. So
Change.
Can we get a 5, Nick?
Yeah, you guys got all 5s.
Sorry, you're good.
this is interesting play. Like I
We all
can't
was not mine.
quite.
The link costs 3.
Probably Jim wants to like make sure that he has those spots open, especially when Nick blocked his expansion to the south. So he wants to make sure that he has option to play his industry cards, which requires coal.
So was your second
Yeah.
action last time?
Yeah, he does give himself a lot of flexibility by building up to stone, because stone does have cotton, goods, and coal and beer, but he's unlikely to play another beer card.
Yes.
The coal right now for
Yeah.
Jim doesn't feel that good, so he's probably looking to go for goods or cotton, or he just might be building out to places where he knows he has
Yeah.
the card.
One other thing, Jim is still paying 3. He is that negative income, so actually it might be a setup for a call play also. But the thing is that other players might also have stone, but the coal market hasn't used in that point. But he's probably try to set up his setting off his loan. But like I said, there's still coal in the market, so it wouldn't help him in that situation. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, we see exactly that overbuild happening. Daniel takes the loan, and
You're gonna bounce down and then back up
Yeah.
again.
This is the great spot to do this play.
yeah,
5, 6, 7, $8.
I need to pay 8 first.
yeah, grabs $8 just for playing it. So it basically pays it off. It's a free placement. Gets his loan and gets a bunch of money to play around with. A really nice setup for Daniel right now, sitting with
Yes.
a bunch of money. It looks 40 or so.
Yes. So basically, that like you said, that iron was free for him, and he has paid
50. I think he's got
for loan.
50.
Yeah. So he has paid loan for only 1 round.
Yeah.
And he also capitalized on that iron. First time he got 6 and now 8, so he's in good money and in good shape. The only one thing, because he's in that Reddit spot, it might be a tough place to expand. But if he still considers to go for pottery game, it's right place to be.
Yeah.
And also Birmingham is open now, so I think he had Birmingham card. I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's still. I'm not sure how many yellow cards he's thrown away, but he does still have some yellow in his hand. And I saw a decent amount of red as well when the last glimpse I caught of his hand. Now we're over to Mike, who will be drawing the last two cards in the deck, and then each player will have 4 turns remaining. Players playing at a pretty quick clip.
Yeah. And I'm really interested to see what Mr. Mike's playing. This is probably a good spot. He's in good money or like relatively good money. So putting 2 industries up because he has that level 1 box developed.
Mm-hmm.
So building level 1 box and maybe a beer as a second action would be a viable play for Mike.
Yeah.
And we see that level 1 box right there.
Yeah.
Or I mean level 2. And in this spot, I probably would build second box or beer if I would have beer card. Probably beer card because they are more contested. But instead,
He just ends up building a link.
and is that Nunyanton which he discarded?
It looks like it might be.
Yeah, I think that's a mistake by Mike because that's definitely one of the best beer spots. There's only one Nunyanton card in the game.
Right.
So that beer spot was locked for him. I probably would go for a beer in that spot.
Yeah, it's always tough. It feels like you really want to hold on to Nuneaton, you want to hold on to Redditch, and you want to hold on to Tamworth and Walsall because they all only have 1 each. You just know that you have that card and nobody else has that card. You have those sort of key spots locked down.
And like Mike built that link to Belper, so he was not in a hurry to do that action yet.
Yeah.
He knows that he needs to deliver that box later on in the game, but he could save that link action for a later.
Yeah.
Later. Yeah.
Right, because he
So probably-
had Belper as a card anyway, so it wasn't like he was playing it as a goods card and needed to link up.
So maybe this was like a first slight mistake by him, but so far he has been playing really well.
Mm-hmm. All these players have been playing really systematic. Like all of their plays, kind of, we can see the sense of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely feel that every player has like some level of feeling what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And like I said, all of them are really good or really strong board gamers. So even though this might not be their game, I think they will manage to do this a great game because of overall level of skill they have.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about the World Series of Board Gaming is this semifinal, is the format, the structure. Because if you're a good board gamer, you're a good board gamer. And it doesn't matter what you're thrown into. You can see all of these people working with different skills, but they're all seeing how those skills apply to the brass Birmingham table, which I find very exciting to watch. Nick taking his time.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what his plan is. He still hasn't developed those level 1s cottons. So this might be a spot to do that. But his second action...
Yeah, right now, nobody's really taken a firm stance on what they're going for other than Mike going for manufactured goods.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still catching some yellow in Daniel's hand. It does look like there might be a Birmingham there.
But yeah, like Nick developing that cotton might signal Daniel to like hold on that strategy
For sure.
to go Worcester and Kidderminster. So keep his like plan hidden as long as possible might be a reasonable thing
Yeah.
to do. We are in the later part of the turn, so soon you have to expose yourself what you are going to do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's Daniel's original plan was, but probably I think, like I said earlier, that seeing Nick developing that level 1 cotton maybe hindered his idea to go for a cotton also, because he don't want to put those links up for Nick.
Yeah. And we see Nick now committing fully to that cotton strategy, developing the 2 level 1s off of his board. And now it's passed over to Daniel, we might see him be able to reveal his ultimate plans now that Nick has revealed his own. I love how cagey these players are being with each other. You can feel that tension. You can feel people playing with the timing, and it's like a rubber band waiting to snap.
Yeah. And Mike is not that chit-chatty anymore, so probably he needs to spend more energy on thinking. So yeah, this is crucial part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can see the level of thinking required based upon Mike's chattiness and animation around the table. Daniel flirting with that yellow card in his hand and surveying the board.
Yes. Now Daniel is in tough position. I think he might need to ditch off that big cotton strategy, because developing is so expensive at the moment. So probably he's figuring out some other plan at this point.
Yeah, especially if you want to get that beer out like he's doing, just making that more and more expensive. I think Mike having a little reaction there, Daniel giving a shrug. There's a potential that Mike was hoping to put his beer in that location, then that Nuneaton play. If it was Nuneaton, it's possible we could have misread it based upon the just the camera angle. But Daniel for sure building that beer in Colebrookdale.
Yep. And that's his second action. Oh, that's an interesting play. I like that.
Going for the pottery.
Yeah. He is not probably going for a big pottery, or he doesn't even have time for that.
Yeah.
But he had good beer cards, so he needs to make those deliveries with own beer in one way or another, and that's the great way to capitalize on delivering beer.
Yeah.
And the other thing I really like about this play, Daniel is really well set up his industries on the map. See, that's the thing which I'm trying to do, because it gives you a lot of flexibility in Rail era when you have industries all over the board. So yeah, it was really expensive turn, but probably way to go. So Jim is building that coal right now.
Oh no, it's a link.
You cannot. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, you're good.
You scared me. I don't think that's legal.
You're good.
And then I will use Stoke-on-Trent to place.
Okay, so he found his way to the iron spot. It was
Very nice.
Okay,
I
good.
don't get the iron card.
in action-wise, that was quite costly play, because he had to do double link to reach that
in order to
iron
have
spot.
access to the coal.
Yes, to build that iron up. So, like I earlier said, I would probably consider do the scout action in his spot if he didn't have to chance to overbuild his level 1 iron.
Right. Yeah, and we can see exactly the difference between Daniel and Jim right here. Daniel not needing to build those additional links, he just overbuilt his iron, and then Jim not being able to overbuild that iron like we were just talking about, but needing the links in order to connect to get that coal access.
Now mine.
Okay.
That's played. 2 2 cards have been played.
Yeah, it shows the benefit of that scout action. I think exactly right, like you were talking about the double rail just to get there.
But that's a lot better spot than I was going to be
I
able
mean,
to
you
get
do
to.
get the points, and Burton on Trent will have some points revealed, some link points.
Oh,
Yeah, and
played.
he still
I have
probably will capitalize in stone.
and then
Hmm.
any card
So
that
like
has an iron on the picture.
that's in my opinion like it was okay way to go in that direction,
Yeah.
especially the iron market. How was it? But like the scout action would be earlier viable for him. But I'm not saying like this is bad or anything. This is like a different approach
I have
to
Hmm.
execute your play.
So many other sites around there.
Yeah, my cards are just, from what I understand, my cards are hot garbage. I will take a loan for $30. And I will
Pushing you
discard
back.
that. Push me
Mike
back.
not happy with the composition of his cards right now.
Just say no.
I think he was saying something like, "Oh, I don't want to help Daniel."
Rail for $3.
Do it, man. Do it. Okay.
Bird.
Is that this helping me?
Yeah, Warsaw.
So with this play,
Okay.
Daniel's saying, "Wait, you said this was helping me?"
I have things to help you,
Okay.
but I'm going to do
I'm
everything
rate-
I
I rate
can
you, I
to
rate you.
not give it to you because I'm not going to just hand you
I will do last.
turns.
Last.
You could also do it, and then I would be happy.
Okay.
yeah, so Mike probably is setting up
I promise you,
level
you
2
can
iron
get a
play
bonus
with
bonus on
this
it.
link, lone link action.
Yeah, Mike's saying to Daniel that you could spend the turns helping us both and connect those links for us, and then I could drop down some extra stuff. That would be great. But Mike playing a little bit chicken with Daniel. I don't think he really needs to worry about Daniel. Daniel's got his beer over there. He doesn't need to connect anything to his beer. He's going to use his beer.
Oh, right, that's right. We got to do that.
Yeah, that's right.
Or maybe he was talking more about Coventry and going towards Coventry to put iron there.
Right.
Opted not
Yes.
to.
And then I'm
Yes,
gonna
that's
build
right. Makes sense.
this here.
No, you're not. No. You can't have multiple on the same site.
Yeah.
Where was I going to put that? I was not going to put that there. You're right. I'm
Maybe
not
you're
doing
putting an
that.
iron in Walsall, but you're not putting.
Oh yeah, now
Yep, that's why I was
so
just- that's exactly
I
what
think Mike forgot that he can't build two
Yeah.
industries in same location,
Yeah.
which
I'm gonna need
probably
a hot second.
might be painful for him
Oh,
if
yeah.
he doesn't have that iron card in his hand right now, because that link
Oh, so
probably will
it's
help
actually
some other
there.
player now in Walsall.
You're right,
Yeah.
that is a
Wooden
rule.
rail. Wooden rail.
You're right, that is a rule.
Yeah. That's why Daniel pointing out, hey, maybe you should have helped me out in Coventry, because then you'd be able to build your coal there.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly the rule that Mike forgot. We see again. I mean, lack of sleep. The players are sort of newer to the game. It's easy to forget these things, and especially with brass, there's so many little things that if you're not a veteran of the game, it's easy to forget that learning curve. The idea that everything has to connect back to coal is one of them, and then
Yes.
the simple distinction of between Canal era and the Rail era. You can't put more than one in a spot in that first half
Yes.
of the game.
Yes, and we have to remember that these players are probably really exhausted, playing 4 days prior, 5 to 10 hours per day, and also if you didn't pull your like best game for grand semifinals,
Yep.
learning it in the middle of the night, you're probably already really exhausted at this
Yeah.
point of the day. So definitely understand how Mike feels at this situation.
Yeah.
10, 12. Thank you. So 15.
Mike now dropping a blue, looks maybe Stoke-on-Trent. Manufactured goods that he's going to drop down. At least that'll be connected.
Then
thanks to Jim's links. Mike having to do a major pivot here. Also an exciting moment to see how he recorrects. Yeah, all the
And I'm
players were
sure
anticipating his drop of iron in Walsall, but
yeah.
Mike probably had his turns mapped out, but does he have the flexibility to do a scout action?
Yeah, yeah. Because there's not much of the era left. I think is it 3 turns left or 2?
Yeah, I think 3 turns left for
Yeah.
now for Mike and Nick. I think they're all on their so I think Daniel and
Yeah. This is really unfortunate sequence for Mike because he didn't need that canal for his beer anyway, and now there's iron spot potentially for some other player.
yeah. I think he did use a beer card to play it though.
Yeah,
Afraid
yeah.
we could not finish.
Beer industry card,
Yeah.
Afraid we could not finish the match.
which usually it's really hard to find use for beer industry cards in Canal era.
Yeah.
Those cards are like the least desired in the Canal era, which is like total opposite in Rail era. So often you just discard those cards, but at least he found way to use it.
My favorite game.
It's a great game, but it's so easy to misplay like one thing, or you buy an item that you're like, this is good, and an airplane flips out, and you're like, well, that's not what I wanted. Like,
Mike now back to talking about Arnak, the other game being played across the table from them.
And that's actually my favorite WSBG game. Like,
Oh, yeah?
I love Brass, yes, but Arnak is my most favorite game of WSBG games overall. Love that game.
Nice. We see Jim. That looked like, I guess, a develop?
Stone for
Yeah, so
14.
Yeah. Developing some beer and his level 1 boxes.
Something like that.
I think level 1 box, and maybe it's coal, but he's level 1 coal.
Yeah, I think yeah. Oh yeah, level
Yeah.
1 coal. Yeah. I thought it was
Yeah.
a beer.
I'll take those.
21, 22.
So now at least Jim is capitalizing on his links
Yeah.
with this play.
Definitely. Yeah, it makes that link play make a lot more sense if he was working with
Yep.
the goods in his hand, you know.
Anything else? Jim?
Yeah. Oh no, sorry. This is to
Knew that he eventually would go for goods. Jim's got 1 beer out.
I don't know if you guys got the tech, but I hate playing cotton. I'm really bad at it.
why don't you play your game?
And Iron Market is glowing red right
Do you
now.
want to know what
Like,
you could told me? Play boxes, you can't screw it up.
Mike
It's the most forgiving strategy. And I was like, you got it. I was like,
got
what if
it.
you want to play cotton? He was like, then you got to do an extra this, you got to do that. I was like, ooh, that sounds hard. I'm just going to play boxes.
Yeah.
Mike saying that manufactured goods, he received word from his coach that
My goal was to come in
And
a respectable fourth.
he had been doing relatively well, like in this point, like little mistake with that Unionton discard and that little unnecessary link to Walsall, but like overall he is executing that strategy.
Box is really flexible to adapt everything.
And that's what I needed because I don't know the value
Yeah,
of the cards
yeah.
well enough. I mean, you just saw me try to do that, right? 2 years ago, when I won Wingspan, I straight up told them, I'm like, if you put me on brass, because I've never played, and so I don't even know the mechanics, I will legitimately not even show up to the semifinal.
So yeah, here we see level 2 play, level 2 cotton from Link to Birmingham. So he is probably later on will connect himself to Worcester.
Still didn't win, but at least I could not. I don't want to accidentally king make someone because
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
like it still works. Nobody wants that.
yeah, Mike just talking about his experience with brass. He's had a couple years to to learn it since his first foray into the semifinals.
Showed some boxes, so I get it.
You guys played away your cotton cards, so that's why.
And Nick also had mentioned, he said, I don't know if anybody got the memo, but I hate playing big cotton. I'm very bad at it. But that is the strategy which he's going to be pursuing in this game.
Mid-range cotton, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, he's building up that level two
Yeah.
cotton. So probably he didn't have that flexibility to develop his level twos. So he's going for more safer
Yeah.
plan to play that
Right.
mid-range. Which placing on Birmingham, it's really tough because it gives 2 link points, I believe, if I'm not correct. So it also gives really good points for Mike. He has 2 links built up there, so it's 4 points also for Mike, putting up that level two cotton to Birmingham. But I think Nick is in that position that he must go to Birmingham, able to connect himself to Worcester.
Yeah, just to get down there.
Sure, that is definitely a strat.
16. $1 million next turn. Go last forever.
God always goes last.
To be fair, I'm really impressed that I was able to get
Nick having 2 beer still on the board, so we know he's got his beer covered for his cotton.
starting in fourth.
He's not going to need to go to Gloucester down in the bottom, so he can afford to sell them at that flexible Oxford spot.
Whereas if I do this, I need to sell, of course.
This is the moment where you map out all the rest of your turns.
Yes.
It's like what, double
Nick making sure that
glider, actually.
Yeah, so probably there will be a link Worcester. Then he needs 1 action for a sell. And he has spear in north, but those bears are not necessarily safe because other players can also use those bears.
yeah, at what point do you use someone else's beer to deny them that big flip? Is that ever a consideration that you really need to be wary of from other players, or
Yes, if they don't have access to those market beers, then that might be like a one way if you have connection to other players' beer to do that play. And also, if you think about big cotton strategy, you are reliable to certain extent to market beers. So if you want to deny big cotton player, you might even do level 1 cotton to just snatch that one market beer. So yeah, there is like spots when you want to use industry you are not playing from markets, and also if you deny flipping other player. But those are relatively rare, I think.
we've seen Daniel queuing up his turn, 4th player to go in this. He had it locked and loaded, just doing a double rail, getting in on Birmingham on both sides, and then building out towards that Dudley area, which has either coal or iron. Be a pretty lovely spot for Daniel to drop a level 3 iron, make a bunch of money, and I think he's got the money to do it.
Yes, I was wondering what Daniel is gonna do in this spot, but this is amazing play because he needs to connect to Coventry. If he has Dudley or Iron Industry card, this is amazing spot to play it out. And with that play, he made sure that he is going first.
Yeah.
So that's a really good play. And also there is that level 2 button which gives him in with this play 4 points.
Yeah.
So love this play.
No, it's hard to play it out. Only if you have put the lane yourself. So I will have a long.
The problem Daniel has right now that he has 2 beers up and only 1 industry to deliver, and he might not have time to do develop action in this spot. But it's really viable action actually build that level 1 box at this spot.
Especially when you just added 2 links into it, if you build it in Birmingham.
Was that with the Cole?
Yeah, and then just have that to flip your other beer.
No, I saw that. I just don't have the.
Yeah. Oh, I love that play from Daniel. That was such a solid play, such great timing from him, and just getting so much money from that iron and getting that level 3 iron on the board too. Sure, it only gives him a little 2. You saw him take a loan as that first action, so he's still -1 on the income track. But man, he's going to make that money back by filling up 5 iron on the market and pulling back 8, 6, 14, $16, essentially making money, making so much money for this play. Yeah, that's a great play.
Yeah, and like I think he had essentially got net positive for building his irons, and he also paid his loan with those. So he is in really good money. He has level 2, level 3 irons up, and 2 beers up, level 1 pottery up. So now he just needs to figure out the way to deliver another good, which is probably will be a level 1 box, but also there might be, because Worcester is open, he might build also level 1 cotton.
Yeah, Daniel only having, I think, I don't know if it's 2 moves left. I think it's 4 moves, but I might have lost track.
However, whatever adjectives you want to use, I don't care. To me, knowing nothing.
Yeah, I think it's 4 moves left.
Board state looks relatively even.
I think that's often the case in Canal. There's usually, it's very rare to have a runaway leader at the end of Canal.
Because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I feel it's a lot closer overall. Like, I'm not looking at it and be like, somebody's clearly just terrorizing.
If one of you plays another iron, my instinct is usually the person with the most iron is leading, but it's also...
Well, yeah, because he's got an extra 12 points plus 12 in the next arrow.
I think Jim is in a bit tough spot because his links, he already has used those for building industries up, so he can't build those industries anymore in those locations. I'm interested if he has that Birmingham card to put his block up there, but he will need another beer. Well, he could essentially use also market beer, but it might be contested.
Do you want to comment on your card plays?
Probably not, but
So you
might
need
be.
to use to build a link?
Yes.
Is it beer on it?
Oh, I missed that one had a beer. It's partially because I'm playing upside down. It's the first time I've played upside down.
But that card is very good because...
See, and I was looking, I was like, God, to connect that's going to be a pain. I totally missed that there's a beer on that.
Yeah, Nick pointing out to Mike that Nuneaton, what we commented on earlier, just asking Mike, hey, did you want some feedback? Mike said, yes, please. Like, happy we see the players, giving each other feedback at the table, which I love.
Yeah.
But Nick pointing out and Mike realizing, oh yeah, that would have been the better spot for my beer.
Worcester, when I knew I wasn't going cotton now.
For a level 3 iron, 9 plus.
I also heard Nick saying that he was trying to get to that level 3 cotton, but just iron was so expensive for so long, he had to pull the ripcord at some point.
And now we see Scout in action from Jim, and he's building up that level 3. iron to overbuild his level 1.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that was probably best play for him in this situation.
Yeah.
Over there because
A little bit
Was like,
tricky. He doesn't get the
yeah.
value that Daniel got.
Yeah. Yes. Also that. So
selling my
he was forced to do that scouting action, and
Yep.
we were talking about earlier that I would consider maybe in his situation to do that more early on in the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, a little bit earlier, he would have had that flexibility. He decides he needs to pull the ripcord now, and so being able to recognize that a little bit earlier might have helped him for sure.
This on the table, please. Thank you.
Okay. So I will loan for 30. And then I will Coventry for this.
So
Yeah, we see Mike was waiting for Daniel to give that link.
There, which will flip right away.
He didn't want to do it earlier. He was waiting for Daniel to do it. That's what that discussion earlier about helping each other was about.
Yeah.
Nice timing from Mike. Doesn't get the benefit of the link points, but
I'm here for that. It just took me a second to catch up with, I'm still sitting here playing Candyland.
So
Trying to catch up with the cool kids.
That was a good play.
yeah, really nice, solid play from Mike. You can tell he was working towards that for a little bit.
One of my favorite lines. You guys are playing chess. I'm playing Candyland.
14, 12, 7.
Mike once more trying to lower his threat level,
money on this side this time.
but it is true. I think he's being honest in terms of him
The table, and then we have
and his knowledge of brass and how much he's garnered since 2023 when he hadn't played the game at all.
I finally
Yeah,
got
yeah.
Donna.
And like, if you think about his level of experience for this game, he has been doing decent so far.
I'm definitely down from where.
Yeah, he definitely
Definitely not where he's
Corrected-
You want two of those.
corrected
you
well.
Want that on the board, and that didn't work, so that's okay. That's life. I'm gonna loan and I'm gonna ship. So I'm gonna go down 3.
this going into the last two actions.
30.
I
And
think
then I'm gonna ship.
Yeah.
Mike taking that loan and then
Which puts me up 1.
using the deliver action.
Let's put all of them and then we can.
And this, which will put me up 1.
Yeah, you're gonna
And I'm
use-
gonna use my beer, which
Yeah.
puts me up 5.
Yeah,
And then, so that's a 7.
yeah. And what do I do?
And then I'm
think-
shipping. I can ship anywhere I want. So I
No,
take
that one's
connected.
closed. That one's not open, so
So
this is the
only
only
one.
public.
Yeah.
But you can
Oh,
use
okay.
mine if you want, or Jim's if you want.
I don't think
Pro
there's
tip, do
any
not use other
benefit
people's
in
beer.
using your
You get,
guys'
you get 3 bonus points.
Well, there is an advantage to using your beer if that one wasn't there because then you
But
can't
it's
use
3
your beer.
bonus
But I'll
points.
take the 3 victory points.
I'm gonna move you up 7. What'd you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, 7.
2, 4.
Yeah, we see Nick gently guiding Mike away from using his beer because maybe being worried that he could, as fourth player, get locked
Yeah.
out of selling one of his cottons, and that would be a huge blow to him.
They told me that.
Yes. Well, there's still
I know like 5
beer
things.
in Oxford which he could use.
Mm-hmm.
People keep being like, you act like you're
Yeah, it
and
would-
Daniel is probably gonna
definitely told me
use
His own beer. Yeah.
anyway, so it wasn't like that big of a deal. So definitely Mike getting 3 points for that market beer delivery was better. If Nick wouldn't have that chance to use that Oxford beer, or then it would be actually a considerable option to
Yeah.
use his beer to lock out of his game. But at this point of game, you should also like be aware who against you are playing, or who, I'm not saying who against, but who is like leading. So maybe I have a sense that Daniel has a really good Canal era. Other players are like close to each other, but I
Yep.
feel like Daniel has a small lead, so hitting Nick wouldn't be like maybe better options to do.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense right now.
If the situation would be like that, but yeah.
Yeah, and we see just a monstrous sell from Daniel shooting up on the income track with all of his beer flips and his pottery
Yeah.
flip.
Yeah, and there's that level 1 box also. So actually, he is capitalizing on link points really
Mhm.
well. And those link points in Canal era actually are exceptionally good. You don't usually see that much point out of canals or your links. And also Mike gets really good link points around Birmingham area. And same goes with uh, Nick and Jim in North.
Yeah.
Not that powerful link points, but still like above average, I would say.
We see a really tough play here from Jim.
Sell
He's dropping an Uxeter.
this guy. So I'm getting one.
He's dropping a beer and Uxeter, but he's unable to flip his second beer. He's also unable to flip that second iron, that last piece of iron as
Oh,
well.
that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, it's a hard play. I think he wanted to make use of locking down that Uxeter spot. However, if he had spent the time, he could have at least flipped over that third iron and gotten himself 7 points. I mean, it feels if you weren't going to use the beer in Uxeter right now,
Supposed to spend some money.
Yeah, you need to pay.
it might have been better prioritized building somewhere else, especially when he had that flexibility,
I didn't actually do it.
and then using that iron and flipping that iron over. I feel like that leaving two things unflipped on the board when he could have removed that iron might be
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, there's four. There's
might be a little bit of a misplay from Jim.
four trash to the beginning.
Yeah, and also leaving that beer up
Where is the card?
because he knows that he's not gonna go first on rail era. Might be a bit risky because
in the trash, but I'm like, I've been wondering where this card's been the whole time too.
Yeah, this is a
Mike can do double rail in beginning of rail era with his beer.
I got scared that I was gonna do something stupid with it. Okay. I'm loan selling, so 30 for the loan. Move down 5.
We just saw a big reaction from the players as well. Everybody was looking for Uxeter, and it was clearly in one of the 4 cards that was burned at the
I'm
beginning.
gonna say my last turn was the same as Nick's. I am taking that as a win.
8. So 18. 18 minus 5, 13. Oh, sorry. I was thinking that.
Maybe 23 though.
23.
Oh, sorry.
23.
Oh, yeah,
23.
yeah.
Both of us.
So now we will
18
see
and into 13, I'd be very sad. Okay.
scoring
That's
soon.
it for the round.
As we
should
finish.
take our
Yeah.
money before advancing further.
Like income.
Income.
Like overall, like I said earlier, I feel like Daniel is
Yeah,
That's why I was saying.
in lead,
3, and so I thought I got.
and other players are
Yeah,
relatively close to each other.
Income.
And Daniel had like
The box is only.
not the perfect Canal era, but really good Canal era.
Mhm.
I would say having 2 level 2 beers, level 2 and level 3 irons,
Yeah.
then level 1 box and level 1 pottery, which is not optimal to have level 1, but it's not horrible in my opinion. And
Mhm.
like he is also capitalizing on those link points
yeah.
for himself. So and these link points will be huge.
Yeah, he picks up 3 points from it. He picks up actually 7 points out of it by putting it down. 3 for the box and then 2 each for the links.
That's right. And I really like also the fact about the level 1 box that it gives you a good income, which level 2s don't. So, like, even though most of the time you want to develop those level 1s, there is definitely spots to put those industries on the board.
We're just doing the link points right now. Jim hitting 15,
Burnt amber.
Nick having 12, Mike being up to I think 18.
16.
But he had that 3-point bump from earlier.
So those link points were like rail era link points
Yeah.
because they were so good
Yeah.
already.
Those points and return them to the players before counting level 2s. If that sounds okay for people.
Yeah.
So I see this, and this is level 1's in play.
And I think I got one more.
I think you overbuilt your.
Yeah, just 2. Yeah.
Great. So I've got 13 for Amber,
3 for 39.
and 3 for White.
3 for white.
Oh, I guess
White,
actually should go
20
into
to
the
23.
trash pile.
So Daniel's sitting at 39. They're just removing those level 1s before they score the level 2s just for ease of scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel catching that
I've got it written down right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
that he got an extra 10 points.
Thank you.
Not
Anyway,
bad.
Could you announce the level 1 building? What was it?
Daniel appreciative of the 10 points but wanting to play honestly.
20 to 23.
Oh, sure. You
And
give me an extra 10.
how many points he
5, 10,
still has on the board? I think it's
Yeah, Daniel's sitting at that 29 point right now. Mike
yeah.
5, 10.
jumping up to 41, I think.
36?
35.
Oh, gosh. No, 22?
22.
It's 34.
44.
Nobody knows how to add.
My
Did we
God.
determine 34 is the correct answer?
The player's lack of sleep showing.
Guys. Purple is 5, 10, 15.
15 to 30.
Oh, that one we can do.
And
Jim sitting
Not
at 30
flipping that eye.
points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not flipping that iron was really tough for Jim.
Really hurt him.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think he's.
So 52 is 51.
And he has the most
Yeah,
points.
that's a great score.
Yeah.
Gen 2 anyway.
And he still has
34?
15, 22 points left on the board, so which is really good.
Have Daniel at 51?
Not the best one you can
Yes.
leave on the board, but like scoring, pulling himself like in a good lead
Hmm.
already at this point. That looks strong, but still there's a rail era to play, and the game is decided there. But this is really good setup for Daniel. But
Yeah.
I think everyone still has a chance to win this game. For example, I can give an example from 24 brass final of my own. I made a like horrible rookie mistake in that game, and I knew that players who I was playing are really strong and really experienced in the brass, and I was like just thinking that okay, this game is done, and I scored 32, which was the least points in
Yeah.
the Canal era, and still managed to find a way for a win in Rela. So everybody has a chance to still win,
Yeah.
even though Daniel had great Canal era.
Better iron setup. Like if Jim had flipped, he'd be in better position. Yeah, obviously he didn't. 7 points that he missed out on. But like
Usually you're looking for
as you said before,
40 between 50 points. If you go over 50, and still manage to leave over 20 points on the board, that's really good.
Yeah.
But being below 40 is definitely not the end of the world, and you still can win in Rail Era.
Yeah, the point spread being pretty close. 41 with Mike, I think 37 for Nick, and 30 for Jim. Could have been 39 for Jim.
Mechanic.
That's right.
They were just trying to get the basic strategy of like, this is what.
So those three sitting again, but because there are so many points to be grabbed in the rail era, you can get a ton of points. I really like. I think it's a nice spot for Nick being the only person left in Birmingham. I think that's exciting. But then again, Mike and Daniel have the options to build into Birmingham to make sure that's where you'll get a ton of link points at the end of the game.
well, it depends.
That's
on
right.
anybody builds. Like if they just don't draw iron cards, for instance, like I'm not building it, and so then that kind of becomes the question. Yeah. There's a lot of iron spaces available, which is not as common. Like sometimes it's like people have a bunch of iron 2s littered, and then there's only like one space available, and it's more likely.
Yeah, it hurt that I couldn't get my iron over built I just did not hit.
So we are going for rail era. Mike is in first spot to go, and we see that Bjorn Utaxeter, so probably it will be a no-brainer to build Link to Stoke-on-Trent and then double rail. I believe Mike did loan as a second last action, so he has money to do that.
Yeah. We see another quick flash of the cards of Nick's hand. I saw a couple reds. He's got, it seems like a pretty balanced hand. How much does that hand composition play a part in the second era versus what you've built up in that first age?
Like it's it. I think in rail era, in the beginning of rail era, it doesn't matter that much because you are focusing to build as many rails as possible, but you need to hold on those crucial cards and also be aware that some other player might go there, so you need to like adjust your timing. But in the beginning of rail era, any hand is like in my opinion it like doesn't matter because you go hard for rails.
I have to connect to
at
a
this
beer?
point.
Oh, but I just have to have a beer anywhere, unless it's my beer and then it'll fly.
Yeah, your beer.
Okay. But it doesn't have to be on one of the two rails I just built, as long as the two rails are connected backwards to a beer, correct? So like if I build these,
Question is yes.
like if I build these three
Yeah, Mike just talking through what we were just saying, making sure that he
and tie from there because it's all connected, correct?
Yes.
And those will be those really high value rail points like that beer triangle, which I think community calls it. Those are usually the best rail points. This is great
It's gonna be 11.
great open for Mike.
11.
31 total.
So 31 total.
Yeah, a pretty dominant start from Mike. A great opener. You want, that's why this timing first position is so important, because he gets first dibs at this option.
That's right, and especially there's a beer
Funny thing,
beer on the map.
It's over there. Yep. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Which pretty much
This is used.
everybody except for Daniel would have had that as an option as well,
2, 3, 4, 5.
judging by the breakdown of where people's placements are.
And that's going to use also.
Yeah, going to scoop up a bunch of points there, not developing anything, but locking down those key rail points as we see the race is on to develop the industry and to develop the rail network.
Yep.
I don't know if I've ever seen all of it.
So now we'll see. It might be just single rails, yeah. Yeah.
10-20.
But those are those
Yeah,
better points which you want to have.
yeah. Important to capitalize. Yeah.
To be fair, I screwed it up too, so I can't say much.
Makes a lot of sense too. Again, the cost of coal is going to be skyrocketing here, and now with coal at $6 a
I don't know if
or £6 or 6 currency, whatever you want to call the currency.
because of serious AP as the game gets tighter, but we are.
Do you think we'll see some coal pivoting? Daniel doesn't have access currently. Daniel's coal, he didn't develop his coal off the board. I don't believe, I'm not sure about Jim because we can't see the bottom of his board. We know that Mike did play that coal, and Nick did play that coal, so they do have access to refill the coal market and get a bunch of money. But is it worth it at this point? Because coal really doesn't give you a lot of points; it just gives you a lot of income.
Yeah, like one weakness which Daniel has, that he doesn't have that access to coal. And for my opinion, even though like Cole is in some sense like least valuable. It's still so important to have option to build those goal spots in rail era, because essentially what it does, it probably will be as much money you get out of it as a loan, but you get loan with points. So that's like one part which I see in Daniel's board that might make his play tougher, because he doesn't have that access to Cole, and I see Cole as a really important resource in rail era. And developing at this stage of the game might be difficult. And if I look at Daniel's board, he might do a develop action actually, because he has that level 2 battery, which you usually don't build. So actually, Daniel has a decent develop if he wants to do that play, to be access play to that level 3 battery and later on Call. But timing of it will be really hard, because now you have to go really aggressively for the points, and also rails are getting really expensive.
We see Jim drop down that additional rail. Again, he took a loan and then dropped down that single rail, wanting to capitalize on all those points. Which, and again, while Daniel had a huge move and was leading in the points in the Canal era, we see the players essentially gobble up what might be that lead just by locking down these key positions. It's exactly what you were saying, that it doesn't really matter that they were in the 30s and Daniel hit that 51 level. You can see the points that these players are going to get with those rails is in that first move, and now Daniel's locked out of those spots. So it really levels the playing field almost immediately.
Yeah, and like bear triangle is already claimed, which we talk about earlier, that those are the most valuable points usually in rail era.
Yeah,
so I'm really interested to see what Daniel is going to do, because this is a tough spot.
Yeah.
He wants to build rails, but it's really expensive at the moment.
Yeah, depending on the cards in his hand, but being able to... Is there a coal spot that's connected? No.
No.
So even developing... Well, he likely, if he develops, he'll be able to still go first the next round. So he should be able to have 4 turns back to back. So if he wants to develop that off, set himself up with a link down into, from Redditch to Gloucester, for example.
Yeah. And then there's also called Brookdale, where he could also build a link.
Now that's an interesting conversation. Would it be more... Would building into Gloucester potentially help Nick down the line with his cotton? I think you'd still want to build into something that people could use, even if Daniel's not going to be using it.
That's right.
Just for the potential of points.
Okay, so we will see a double rail action from Daniel, I suppose.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though it's really expensive, he probably will capitalize. Well, and he is in good money.
Yeah.
So money here from those irons, now he has a higher cost to build. So it immediately evens the Canal era point difference.
Yeah.
And resource difference also.
I am okay with how my game played. That was my biggest freaking problem on this table.
Down 3, 4 oranges, circle this one.
That's right.
Top loss.
Oh yeah, so he's taking loan,
Mm-hmm.
and with this play I think he will go first, so he is going for quad rails now. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was already there.
Yeah.
How much you need?
I got it.
You got it. Okay.
Yeah, Daniel's just sitting with a mountain of money over there, making sure that he can fully capitalize on just running around Birmingham.
Because he goes first.
Yeah.
He's going to double rail down into Oxford and then just steal all the spots around Birmingham or wherever he needs to go.
Income?
Yeah, I think he has to
$3.
build first the Redditch to able to connect after that to Birmingham,
$3 for my income.
because he doesn't have a industry in Birmingham, so
Oh,
he
right,
can't
so he
go
can't
to
build
Birmingham.
through.
Yeah. So he have to go to Redditch and after that to Birmingham.
Right.
Or he can also go to Coldbrookdale, but that's not desirable spot at the moment. The other play he could do also go through Colchester and Worcester and Kidderminster, and that way he secures for himself Farm Brewery, which
Right.
are highly competed in rail era.
Yeah. And I think that's exactly what he's
Oh
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, he makes sure he has access to coal, and also he denies Nick that spot for the beer, which I think is pretty huge, especially if Nick is going for that cotton strategy. That's a beer you want to have if you're going cotton.
Yes. Well, Nick has 2 safe beers for him in Colchester. Nobody can use those because he's the only one who is playing cotton, so
Right.
it's not end of the world. But still, Daniel is putting up already level 3 beer.
Yeah.
And the one thing about Farm Brewery, which is really powerful in my opinion, it's secured for you. Nobody else can go there.
Right.
So you have a potential to set up a second quad rail action later on in the turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a monstrous response from Daniel saying, "Okay, yeah, you guys can have the triangle of beer. That's fine. I'll make my own way."
Yeah.
Not being
And
worried
now-
about the immediate points, but thinking about the future points and the future potential down the line.
Yeah. And with that play, he also kind of betting on that somebody will put coal up in the Coldbrookdale and or Kidderminster, so coal market will be more easy for him, especially
Yeah.
he doesn't have access to that coal built by himself.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you? You know, it's you're getting a ton of money. It's almost equivalent to a loan in some cases if you're at level 3.
Yeah, long
You
with
get
points,
26
essential.
along with some points and the income bump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
There's no way to get iron without doing it.
Especially with iron being so cheap right now.
Actually,
yeah.
if I had different
Man, I love this game. Oh, it's so exciting.
I will take care of it.
I can never
Yeah.
get tired of it.
Yes, me neither. Like, even though I said that Arnak is my favorite WSBG game, still never get tired of playing brass, and I am also super excited about new expansion or
Yeah,
actual,
Pittsburgh coming down.
Yeah, Pittsburgh is coming out, so that's thrilling, and like I'm a big brass fan, so
place this.
that will be really fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
How they make really good game even better.
Yeah.
Put 20 on your face. 20 back. Because 20 is what you
Yeah, we see the coal market getting filled. I like this placement from Jim. He's building out in his own pathway. He's getting points from his solo rail link. He's getting a little bit more central as well if he needs to go down.
Yeah. And also, at the moment, he is the only one who can claim that second farm brewery
Yeah.
for himself.
Yeah, a really nice placement from Jim. making up for not having those spots flipped over at the end of the Canal era. This is where the meat of the game really happens. All
Yeah.
these little mini decisions. We can feel the energy at the table. We can feel the tension of the table.
I think it's kind of from Nick also. Yeah. Probably Nick was really happy to see that kind of card.
Yeah.
And now he probably will claim that farm brewery for himself.
$16.
Yeah, that's tough for Jim just building out there, locking it down, and it just enables Nick to swoop in and claim it for himself off turn. Nick gets a little less money from dropping his coal down, but
One thing which Jim could consider to claim farm brewery for himself. Oh, we'll see about what's the second.
This is gonna be with the board state.
Yeah. So one thing Jim would consider for himself, play just kind of card not connected and do the rail immediately to the farm brewery. That way he would claim it for himself. But coal market was so good
Yeah.
to do play that way. So probably in the end of the day, it was an option for Jim do it
Yeah.
do it other way around, because you got so much money out of that play, and still the
Yeah.
link is really good. Or
Yeah.
here at 5 point link out of it.
yeah.
But yeah,
Playing the can't stop tournament still.
probably
Hey.
not too happy to.
Let's go
Jim,
from brass
Jim
to
is not
can't
too happy
stop.
to
That is how
see
we
having
become
Nick
winners.
that kind of card.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna color block for 7. I was gonna
You're still
literally
underspending.
overblock myself.
Well, you pay for expensive rails. So.
And then I'm gonna 8 and
have a choice.
8 and 5 is 13.
And this is
Where'd you build?
this is great news for Daniel, because
Great
coal market is getting cheaper.
Two of them, dude. I was
Cheaper
literally
now
just
for
build
him.
one and overbuild myself. I just don't think that overbuilding myself is the right move
7.
here.
Yeah, 22.
Just double check.
Yeah, Mike was talking about potentially overbuilding himself to not give Daniel those points, but I agree with him. Overbuilding at this point doesn't feel correct. You want to have ways to expand.
Yep, definitely. And one thing which could be under consideration for 3 other players, because they have that information that Daniel doesn't have a level 1 call accessibility, to keep rail points more expensive. It will hinder other players also, but it's probably slow down Daniel at that point, that
It's the end of my turn.
other players could catch up with him.
Right.
So now
My lot of cash to keep me.
all players are building that call, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper.
Yeah.
Even though I think Daniel is going last, so the call market
Yeah.
might just explode to the point it gets really expensive again when his turn comes down.
Yeah. Yeah, because he did spend so much on that huge turn,
Yeah.
but a very efficient turn, which is pretty key in brass
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
Mike dropping down that pottery on his last turn as well, snagging up that Coventry pottery spot, which feels like a really nice placement. You want to get your level 1 pottery out. It's worth 10 points.
Yeah. I like that play, and usually potteries are somewhat competed between box players. Even though we know that Daniel has already built his level 1, we will see, will he go for level 2
Yeah.
later on, or I mean level 3
Yeah.
pottery. But
Gifts.
definitely good play by Mike.
Oh, that was what I was gonna do too. I didn't think he was gonna be there, but I finally just drew one. I was gonna do exactly the same thing.
Mike agonizing that Nick's able to grab that last Exeter spot. And then Nick uses one of them to double rail, putting that price back up, making sure that people will use his beer, and also, like we were talking about, the price for coal is going to go right back up for Daniel not to capitalize on that, which I think is important.
Yeah.
For me,
fact that it's brass
And
Birmingham, it is shocking how little action Birmingham is.
now
I was about to play there.
all the location beers are gone from the map,
Mhm.
so it was
In your minds.
really important for Daniel and Nick to get those farm breweries for later use.
You gonna give me a gift too, Nick, and connected to Coventry?
I mean, honestly, it's not bad. Coventry's worth good points.
I'm just saying, you gonna give me a gift?
Is that it on that?
Yeah, Mike wanting Nick to do his work for him to build into Coventry, but I mean, it's a Coventry to Birmingham is potentially the largest amount of points that you can get from a single rail.
Yes, yes. So
Here makes sense.
Nick opts to go up to Nunington, potentially giving him that option of putting a
Yep.
cotton there.
yes, and in some cases also coal.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's shocking how different it is when you play against people who know what's what.
I'm gonna change these 5s into a 15 so it looks easier to count on here.
Yeah, I really like that rail up to Nunington. Gives Nick a lot of flexibility there because he's going to want to either drop coal or cotton, and
Let's see, when Luke goes to HCP, it's
Yeah.
like
nice to have that
really
option.
weird leaving to somebody who's losing so that it doesn't help them.
Yeah.
So you don't care, and that's
What's kind of nice is I was
Well,
gonna have to
that's
leave
why
my
I
beer
slapped
in
in the
him.
face.
Didn't
for
quite
that
catch
beer.
his hand.
This is a race. I mean, anybody who draws Utoxeter, 3 players.
He just
who draw
flashed
beer,
his
like,
hand, but I saw some blue
Take it or
cards
don't.
and
I'm
red
glad you did it
cards.
because I was gonna have to leave it for him. So
Yeah. It's 7 points. Like,
Yeah.
it's as good as playing a rail, and iron is cheap. Like, that's.
yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna need to be paying 15.25.
Yeah, Jim is going definitely for a double rail.
Mhm.
Those card. Now I feel really silly because I had Doxer.
Oh, you.
Oh wow,
Oh,
Jim was delaying. He said, "I feel really silly because I had it in my hand."
yeah, that was really painful,
Yeah.
this sequence, because Nick got chance to snack that farm brewery from
Yeah.
him, and Nick hit also with that Utaxator
Yeah,
also.
Jim just
And that's
stretched in the wrong
sometimes,
direction. Yeah,
yeah, sometimes that's really tough when you are on the same path with other player, but
Mhm.
just trailing one turn behind.
Wanted to sit on it, like nobody wants to sit.
Nobody
in grass
wants
with
to
Nick.
say advertise with Nick or Daniel.
But I'm
Apparently
sure,
Daniel either. Apparently
sure
Daniel was
Jim
like,
will
I got
find
this. I don't
find
know
a
who
way.
this Nick guy is. No, he's
do
talking
a
about,
great
like,
turn anyway.
Expectations coming into it.
Nick. Drink. Glug. 5 income for.
yeah. Jim and Mike talking about the threat level that was on Nick's back going into brass, because I know Nick has some experience with brass, but now everyone at the table looking towards Daniel and being afraid of Daniel. Daniel just quietly building up that momentum as we go through. But
Yep.
still, I love the way this board has played out currently in this rail era. You know, people are gobbling up the necessary spots, and I'm excited to see if they have plans to build those industries in those spots to capitalize and give themselves more points, or who will benefit from the flow of all these rails being dropped down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and also other thing which you considering while building those links to block some other players to reach certain locations, which Jim essentially did with that Canuck player earlier, but it was unfortunate for him that Nick had that Canuck card in his hand
Yeah.
anyway.
These cards, those don't help me much anymore, and I'll take a loan. $30.
Yeah, Jim having Uxeter and a beer card in his hand, hoping to get both Uxeter and that beer, but just being
Feels bad for
sneaked
Jim.
out. Yeah.
Those are gone. Card goes to Mike. Draw 2 more. These are trash.
God, we got a lot of plays left for the fact that I don't see any
Yeah,
outs.
you doing that is pretty gut wrenching, Nick, with this in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if he had chance to save that beer industry card for overbuild later on, I would consider it, not just dumping those cards, even though Utaxator is gone and Farm Brewery
Right.
is gone, because you might need to do in some point overbuild your own beer. But we don't know his hand. He might anyway have those cards.
Because it will get me nothing.
Yeah, Mike's saying, "Oh, there's a lot of turns left to play for me not having a plan for those turns."
I'm gonna overbuild my own thing here for $10.
Mike overbuilding his 3 to a 4. It doesn't,
$10.
or maybe just a 3 and a 3. Either way, it doesn't really. Yeah, I think it's a 3 because it's just four coal.
Yeah.
It won't affect the amount of points that Daniel will get from those links, so it doesn't really matter the placement.
Yeah, at this spot I would probably consider surround Birmingham.
Birmingham,
As
yeah,
as a mic, build a link to Coventry
yeah.
and other link to Dudley or Worcester.
For one of these for 4 plus 7 is 11. Which will not instantly flip. That'll go there.
Yeah, instead Mike just building up Birmingham, but by doing so, giving Nick and Jim some points there. I guess he feels fairly confident that he can build that rail connection from Coventry to Birmingham at a certain point, but as we've seen from Nick wanting to gobble up as many points as we can, I wouldn't feel very confident that that's going to remain pretty safe.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know why I'm still looking at things. That's my turn.
We'll see how Daniel goes. It's been a while since Daniel's got a chance to act. A lot has shifted on the board since his huge double rail turn.
No, I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I was like, yeah, you can throw it at him, but I'm like, I know that's not. Yes, I did.
And then we'll see Farm Brewery going up.
Mm-hmm.
So you got
Probably just saying that.
And he's
She's not a dope.
might setting up another
31.
quad rail action for himself.
Yeah, you can see what the priority absolutely is. It's locking down those rail connections and then building out from there. It is more of a race to grab those spots than the existing spots because you can always overbuild if you really need to.
Yeah, and here we see the loan to able to make that play on the next turn.
Yeah.
That's a strong move.
I think we'll just
And-
see Birmingham get surrounded with this next play.
Yeah, definitely.
This is the 2-hour mark. Good play.
And this is the reason why farm breweries are so powerful in rail era.
I don't think. Oh, that's a 25 versus gas. Yep.
I was like, I'm less than purple.
I forget what colors it was.
Yep, Daniel locking in that first play for this round. I think players might have 5 turns left, 10 total turns, 5 rounds, because there's still stuff in the deck, but that deck looks like it's getting light at this point.
Yeah.
Daniel, we're catching a nice rainbow of colors in his hand there. I see 2 purple, 2 red, 1 yellow, 1 green. So he's going to have options for what he needs to place down.
Yeah. And he is already like everywhere on the map except north.
Yeah.
So
He still has that access to that potential pottery, though, up in,
Playing with him.
50.
Doper.
no, Stafford, too,
Oh yeah, Stafford.
because he's already
right,
there, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he leave a beer behind?
No, he doubled and then he left. So now he's got.
Oh, of course he did.
Yeah. Daniel systematically using his beer.
So you built the
Really
beer
great efficiency from Daniel.
So then he goes first.
so that he's
Yeah.
first, and he'd have to drop just a million rails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this guy. Should have just been like a Saturday afternoon
I
game.
failed to beat him in the other game, and now it's coming back to haunt.
And this is the thing
It's
you.
your fault for not beating him in
100%
GWT.
my fault.
You know who would have beaten him? Jeff.
And this is the thing which other players might consider their expenditure with the knowledge that Daniel had that farm brewery, because now it was more easier to do that quad rail action and not leave beer for other players.
Yeah.
Jeff sitting in that seat.
As far as loudness, or
As far as chaotic everything, Daniel's playing a
if you
hell of
had
a
won,
game.
yeah, 'cause if you had won Great Western, it would have just been 3 of us.
I know. I know.
Straight up.
I'm having all my feelings right now about how bad I am at playing cotton, but I played it anyway.
Yeah, Nick regretting playing Cotton, he's saying.
Trace said, Brian was like, don't play cotton, you know you suck at it.
Who said
Zab.
that? Oh. I thought you said Ryan. I was like, that's not.
I was like,
Yeah, but Nick did have such a strong opening hand to lead towards Cotton. I understand why he did jump into it. Some chatter at the table saying Nick wishing he beat Daniel at Great Western Trail. They were both at the final table. Nick saying, if only I'd beaten Daniel at Great Western Trail, then this game would be wide open for me. Yeah, that's
we might see a point where Daniel might run away from other players, but there's still turns left. So
I'd say so as well. Yeah, they all have. I mean, Daniel does have 8 rails on the board, which is pretty dominant, but they need to score. All the ones up north are scoring pretty heavily.
yeah, that's right.
Nick sitting with 5 rails in good positions. Daniel's got a lot of rails, but currently nothing's in Kidderminster. Nick has no incentive to build in there.
Yeah.
Daniel hasn't developed his level 1 cotton, so isn't going to build in there. Wasted some of that tempo going down, and is not going to get max value from those links.
I gotta find a card for that.
So we see developing action from Mike.
Yeah.
I'll get rid of that beer. That does not matter.
Indicating he might go big pottery.
And
Or
Yeah,
at least,
or
forget
at
that
least
level
for
3.
level, level
Yeah.
3.
what was my other play? Oh, my other play is that.
It's tough. He will need 3 beer for his pottery. In total, his level 1 and his level 3.
Thanks, Capt. If anybody would put things in places I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's something which might be hard to do, because
Yeah.
that one gives a wild beer from market,
Yeah.
and one is up north, and there's also a chance that other player puts pottery up and you use that northern market beer.
Right.
So this is a risky play by Mike.
Yeah, I think he didn't feel like he knew what avenue to go for with the cards in his hand. He was probably hoping for a couple Birmingham so he could continue on that manufactured goods route. But again, now with Mike with all those rails pointing into Birmingham and Mike having none of them, it doesn't really incentivize him to drop the goods in Birmingham
Yeah,
because he makes, 4 points, 3 points, 5 points out of it, and everybody else gets a decent amount of points. I mean, I guess if he puts his level 3, which doesn't have connection points, that's a pretty solid blocking play then from Mike to drop those into Birmingham.
So I'm just down for 2 plus 10.
Yeah, that's right.
So we see Mike developing so he has a chance to play that coal.
That card will be this. I'm certainly not going to do any of those. So I'm.
wait, if you're overfilling yourself, you need a coal or a coal Brookdale.
I don't have those. So I'm not doing that because that doesn't work.
That works out nicely for you because that's a really bad play.
Nick, you absolutely
quote of the game so far, right there.
Well, it's a good thing you can't do that because that was stupid.
A great quote.
Yeah.
Mike was trying to overbuild himself.
Fine. I'm gonna play in Stafford for 22 plus 13.
Mike commits to that pottery route then.
And the other thing which is tough for him that you can't actually deliver to north and south markets because if you use market beer, it's need to be delivered in that location.
Yeah.
So he needs another beer from somewhere,
Yeah.
and there's
But obviously you can drop and ship.
already really hard. He needs to overbuild his beer spot to basically deliver his pottery.
Debating whether to mention that. You cannot use two separate harbors for this single.
Oh, you can't use two separate harbors?
For
Yeah.
this
Jim
single.
Jim's saying the
It's like
same.
this
If
beer
you had two
and
different
that
things,
beer
yes.
just for that tile.
Well, then that's also a terrible move then. Although I've spent the last couple of turns with I haven't developed yet. Okay, we're gonna start. I don't know what my plan is, but it was clearly not that.
Yeah, Mike.
Thank God for takes.
Mike rolling back his turn. The only penalty, him showing that information to the other players. But yeah, Jim pointing out exactly what we were saying, that you can't use the double beer. And Mike deciding, okay, well maybe I don't want to go big pottery because I don't know if he has the cards in his hand to guarantee him overbuilding beer, or he doesn't have any beer on the. Oh no, he has one beer. He has one beer down in Walsall that he could overbuild.
Do you want to?
But yeah, actually, that is also a problem for him because if it's only one level 2 beer, so he can't even overbuild his own
Yeah.
beer with level 2.
So you're gonna have 7 total income bumps. 5 positions.
So 7 from 31.
So Mike just decides to take that beer that is up for grabs from the wild market. I think probably incentivized by his back and forth play, him thinking, okay, well, there's a lot of information to process, and I know I want that beer, and I just need to get it out of the way, so I'm doing it now.
So I will pay 5 plus 6 is 11, just to keep this game moving. With this call to build a rail. Just to put a rail down somewhere and get some points because I don't see a lot of other options.
Yeah, Mike wishing he could put that rail between Coventry right now.
Because he is actually quite surrounded now, or locked in some locations. He has possibility to go to Leek and Wolverhampton, and that's also illegal. Yeah, he
Yeah.
can.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just less points.
Where else?
I mean, doesn't matter at this point.
It definitely matters. It always matters.
We're all just here for gets and shiggles. 2, 4, 6. I'm gonna draw my last 2
I
cards
want to make sure if you win, you have something to eat, okay?
and pass this to.
All right,
Pepperoni and then cheese.
we're over to
Pepperoni
Jim.
and cheese pizza. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, a tough spot in Mike's situation. Where is Mike's out? Do you think he should have gone in that developing route and tried for the big pottery, or do you think Mike just needs to invest in the manufactured goods route? I mean, the level 3s are pretty expensive, especially with coal being.
You saw what I just played.
Tell me.
The top
Yeah, I think pottery wasn't viable for him. I wouldn't.
does on post on.
Yeah.
Let me
Well,
know.
yeah, he's on the because he can't overbuild his level 2 with level 2 beers. So I think he felt pressure to do that delivery now.
Honestly, a lot of times.
And
I mean, it's
well, level 3 box doesn't need to beer to deliver. Maybe he could do that, but
Right.
at this point, I still would consider to just do 2 rails.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah, it feels like you're pulling the trigger too soon. A little bit of a reactionary response there from Mike with using one of his moves to sell. Nobody's going to sell at this point. Everyone's going to build up anyway. You've got a few more turns.
So if I put this in and take 8 back.
And especially that level 3 doesn't need a beer, and there's still
Yeah,
2 spots to deliver that pottery or
yeah,
use market bins
exactly.
or would have been.
Coming in.
Yeah,
Back to me.
and it's connected up to the top anyway, so he's got that as potential. He did flash his hand a little bit. I saw a couple manufactured goods, and then one blue, one red, one yellow. So not a lot of stuff going on for Mike right now.
That. This is my income from the coal. This is my spent money.
And Jim continues his solid 1 link and building up that coal.
These two are out of here.
There maybe was a idea to go with second rail to Birmingham, just to keep that coal market expensive for Daniel
Yeah,
and grab some more points. And I think Jim is in good money
Nick gets a 4-move turn.
anyway, so maybe as a second action, second link would have been.
I was just catching a
option.
glimpse of Daniel's hand. It looks like he's sitting on 2 pottery there and 1 coal. None of those cards being very good for him, but ideally him using those for links.
The fact that none of the tables are done and like
Or could we see Daniel move towards a big pottery himself in Stafford? I don't think so.
we'll still be last, but we will be
Yeah, me neither. Probably he's looking for overbuilt level 2 beer in some point to get that extra 5 for level
He built
4
he
beer.
built this, and there was no missing because Nick just
No,
took
no,
it.
this that one just
Yeah,
doesn't
you
take
built
any
this.
iron. It's level 2. No need
Oh,
iron.
Maybe put up 2 level 1 boxes, or I mean level 2 boxes, and deliver with that
38
beer.
if I remember right.
But it depends, of course, what kind of hand. Another thing which I would consider as a Jim and Daniel
Yeah,
to put iron up already, even though you don't get the value of money immediately, but probably iron won't be used that much anymore.
right.
So player who claims iron
That-
spot,
First.
yeah, his irons probably will get used, and it flips.
Yeah. Yeah, only one of them will be able to flip their iron. It'll be either Jim or Daniel if they end up going that route.
Yeah, most likely.
Well, I guess Mike does have a level 3 iron too, so Mike has an ability to play it. He could drop it in Colebrookdale as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. And Coventry also.
Hmm.
So you couldn't fly it somewhere.
Do we see some cotton finally from Nick? We see him capitalizing on that coal as well. Not as valuable a coal.
So I'll have spent 18 total.
Alliance.
Yep. Six income.
We see him using that Newington spot for the flexibility of the coal, like we were talking about earlier. And the last 2 cards are drawn from the deck. Each player will have 8 actions remaining, and then this game will be over.
I don't know this first, but I'm done.
And I'm really thrilled to see how it ends up, even though Daniel has built up some lead there. I still
You already put the goal in.
still see chances for other players,
Yeah,
especially Nick.
Thing.
Still has a way to contest him. He has that farm brewery not used.
yeah,
The one question is, does he have farm that beer industry card in his hand? If he doesn't, then he needs to do a scout action,
Right.
which is not that preferable. You would love to see that industry card, but still, he might have time to do that
Taking 10
anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
More turns each. They're moving at a good clip.
Yeah, because we're awesome. We are never your problem children. At least I'm not. I'm a delight.
Just say that?
Yeah. I won't lie. I heard it after I said it. I was like, wow, I really did say that. Alright.
Oh, I got some new cards. These weren't in my hand before. I mean, they were, but I hadn't looked at them yet.
Mike and Jim still having a good time.
A derby card?
Mike, I agree. You are a delight.
And Tamworth. So rail is going to
Yes.
be.
It's really fun to play with Mike, and also it's always a blast to see him in the tournament area.
for
He's
sure.
such a nice person.
The pole is going to be 1 plus 8 is 9.
And that can be said also from Jim and Nick. I didn't have a chance to talk with Daniel that much this year, but
Sorry. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of across the board. The community that WSBG has built is one that they take the game seriously. They play to win, but they also play to showcase the hobby and have a great time.
yeah, and that's the one thing I love about WSBG, that it's competitive environment, but it still feels most of the games that you are playing with your friends in home. So it's kind of atmosphere is casual, but games are taken seriously, and
Yeah.
that's the part which I love really much, and that's the reason why I have been keep returning to WSBG from other side of the world.
Yeah.
Even the travel is really rough,
Yeah.
but still seeing these people year after year is like amazing. And I'm like, this year I was even more looking to meet friends from previous years and people who I met. So yeah, that's like big con of this tournament, that environment is competitive at the same time, but also really friendly.
So this is mine, so I can just pull this over here.
Yeah, and I think you can see that vibe on pretty much any table. You know, some will be more talkative than others, but at the same time, everyone's always friendly. Everyone's always there to
Cleaner this way.
to play a good game.
Same cash because whether
Yes.
I bought it for and earned for, or bought it,
But the
order of the turn order might matter.
the amount spent is not the same because
that.
you had
Okay,
a 9
I hear
before.
it.
I understand.
Here, 15. No, got it.
Players just working there to make sure Mike's spend is correct, just for turn order.
Yeah, right on, right on.
No, that goes yellow.
Definitely building this.
Mike just dropping that coal, I think, and a rail, and we see cotton finally getting dropped down by Nick.
That's nice and easy.
A really great spot for him with his 2 links connected to it. Level 3 cotton only worth 1 link point, unfortunately, versus level 2 being worth 2, which Daniel is getting the most benefit out of that level 2 on Birmingham
Yes,
and down
and
to
also
level 2.
so Worcester.
Yeah. So it's nice for Nick to grab himself some points to get him to offset that.
Yeah.
And then in a perfect world, Nick's going to want to build an additional cotton, right?
Yes, and he's the only one who can use those south
Yeah.
beers. So
But he also still has his beer off to the side. He may not even need it if he's only doing...
yes, that's right.
Welcome to my incompetence.
Oh, that's actually a really good play by Nick,
Nice.
because that takes away spot from Daniel to do that
Yeah.
pottery, which probably Daniel was looking for also to do.
Well,
Oh,
Daniel's
actually, Daniel
still,
had,
yeah,
Daniel has built already his level
yeah.
1, so yeah, it
But
probably didn't matter.
Jim still has it, so Jim might have been pushing for that as well.
Yeah.
You already look like you're in hibernation mode. Right.
Yeah, I think if Nick's play here is to get one more cotton down, be able to sell his cotton pottery, also flip that private beer, and that's going to be it for Nick's potential of the leftover.
One thing he also could do, if there's enough time and money to build
Sorry, my bad.
2 additional cottons and deliver with Colchester beer and with Farm Brewery beer,
Right.
but there's probably no time and not enough money for do that at this point of the game.
Yeah, and he'd still need to build an additional link there because right now, Gloucester down in the south isn't connected to anything.
Right? So, I mean,
It's a pretty accurate
which
statement,
therefore
I
makes
think,
this
though.
game more luck dependent than I thought. I mean, don't get me wrong, every game is draw
Oh,
better
I think-
cards, wingspan,
but if
earth,
I don't-
tiles, and acquire.
And
you still got to
I'm
play
gonna
them,
use
but, like,
Link to ship it.
he controlled all of that in round 1, and in round
So
2
I
he
get
got
5 income
quality.
here. I'm using this beer.
I mean, technically, I guess I
So I
could
get
have since
$5.
He drew one lucky card, and
And
then he
$5.
builds to the other one. So, you know, he went out of his way to make the other one a reality.
This is used.
So Jim probably
Because I
got
chose
worried
to,
about
since I was first
Nick
build,
putting
I
that
could've
level 1 pottery,
Yeah.
so
not
he
built up here. I
shipped
could have gone and locked down one of
shipped it
the
with
Like that.
Yeah, that's also a tough blow for Nick because now he'll need to make a choice if he invests in another cotton. I mean, he probably should, or is
Yeah, like, yes, this was a very lucky draw, and at the same time, he then, like, this is not lucky. This
Was that like
he worked
well
for
played.
that.
Absolutely.
because there were only 2 beer spots in the entire board at that point, right?
Only
You
one.
could have drawn one.
This is the, oh, Tuxedo.
The Tuxer and that was
Yes,
it, right?
there were 2,
yeah,
yeah.
that sell from Jim is really going to hurt Nick, I feel.
Didn't have the ability
If he had that iron card, I would consider him to build iron to Walsall, but I think he probably doesn't have it, so which is great news for Daniel
Yeah.
if he wants to put iron up.
But I also wasn't a big fan of letting him putting out there using one and then giving him my other beer for a double rail at the beginning of the round. So I was hoping they were here and I could
get to it.
get to it, and I needed to get to it faster than I did.
Which boils down to how much money did you come into the rail era?
Which was nothing.
Could you have taken an extra? I mean,
It was the scout.
Yeah.
I had the scout to get my level 3 built, and then I didn't even
and then
flip
you didn't
it.
flip it, so that really
was,
killed it.
That was bad. And that was something I should have foreseen of, okay, exactly how much. And I had plans to do it, but then I think Daniel got one down right before I did. Someone did.
which
And
then
it
Yeah,
filled
they will see that iron.
filled the market.
Yeah.
And then now he's beating me to this. I really should have done that instead of my pottery.
But you wanted to be Nick to the pottery.
I'm gonna go play Clean Subs.
Yeah, a really tough.
If you had it.
Yeah. To
Just
refill
now.
the market,
Just
just the
now.
only person who could have flipped it.
Yeah. I think the table recognizing.
At the same time, that won't flip.
It'll flip before the end of the game.
It will.
It's
I mean,
one. He's
over.
one.
Even if he has to take it to the plate, it just isn't gonna happen.
Yeah, Daniel getting to fill and make good on that iron, just like we were talking earlier. There was going to be that battle between Jim and Daniel, who can get that iron first.
But I passed the card.
There's no rush on the pottery either.
No.
I'm there, but I have a poor spot, so what do
You
I
have
care?
Yeah, no, I feel like Daniel got like other players got a little bit tangled
Yeah,
against each other, and Daniel had these narrow spots to like
yeah.
Yes, the ship was
squeeze on top. So Jim had to choose to
Play the iron period.
do that delivery play
Yeah.
against Nick, or other option if he didn't have that iron card to scout and take away that iron play from Daniel to put to play Iron in Walsall.
Yeah,
Every individual play adds up to the win.
especially 'cause it would have been so many points for, Jim gets those link points in Walsall, and he's the only one who gets them.
So,
But instead, Daniel then gets to drop that iron. It's going to get flipped. He's going to get a huge cash infusion. There's only one iron left, which undoubtedly it's going to be used because Nick still needs to build a beer. So there's the iron.
Don't trust my math,
This was a rough night. You even went to bed early
Okay.
last night.
early. I went to bed at like pretty much as soon as it was over, but it was still like 2 before I fell asleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, fair, but like Nick and I were down here
Got
for
15 on your face.
Yeah, a really, really great timing from Daniel here.
turn order.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, and,
I think that's it.
he was probably really happy to see Jim not having Iron card.
Yeah. I think Jim was saying he might have had it, but chose to prioritize the other one instead. Nick dropping
Oh,
down that
right.
pottery, sort of scaring Jim into action, which I understand. You know that Nick is going for cotton. You know that his 2 beer he wants to put towards cotton. So even though Nick's saying, "Yeah, I could have used my beer for that pottery anyway," I think there's validity in Jim making that push. But I think the iron, as we can see by the benefit that Daniel has gotten from it, is probably the more important race, and he would have been able to sell pottery maybe on this round if he was still worried about it.
Yeah, and especially at this point, probably players are realizing that Daniel is pulling
Mhm.
ahead.
Yeah,
So maybe
Sensible, Josh.
that play would level
level the
the
playing
play
field.
more.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. We see Daniel getting to go first, investing in manufactured goods in the main area, which
Build in Birmingham already, yes.
makes sense. Taking that Birmingham spot.
Which is 8 points for him.
Yep. Flipping over his iron. Yeah, a really nice play from Daniel, and then building out of Birmingham as well,
Yeah, good.
making a nice connection there.
Yeah.
I just wanna-
Daniel making some really clean plays here into the final stages, and we see the players now responding and feeling like they can see Daniel running away with it, but
Yeah.
not sure how they can respond at this point in the game.
Yeah. Throughout the game, I feel like Daniel has used opportunities given to him
Mhm.
really well. And like in Canal era, he probably was thinking about that going for pottery, but seeing Nick developing,
Right.
or I mean, cotton. Seeing Nick developing that cotton, he kept his options up and like just capitalized on opportunities he was given.
Mhm.
So, and really solid plays throughout the game.
Yeah, Daniel having 4 cards left in his hand. We can see a little bit of a rainbow there, green, yellow, and purple. Mike will have 4 cards after this play.
So that's going to be 4 plus the 5 is 9. So I'm going to 10. I know I have $1 floating. And then I'm going to put this one down for 10 plus 1 is 11. So I'll put down another 10. And I should have $20 because it was 9 and 11. Agreed? Agreed.
That one's 5 coal, right?
That is 5 cool.
8, 14, 16.
Yeah, Mike dropping down his coal,
I need $16 back.
getting a cash infusion, not spending money.
Money's not worth anything at the end of the game, right? Just a lack of opportunity cost. Beautiful.
Flip it
And
over.
I get a flip on that, which is 5 up things. And I'm like, there's just nothing for me to spend money on.
Yeah, Mike having so much money, he doesn't know what to do with it at this point in the game. Which is a nice problem to have, a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested. How does that pottery going away? Nick has 6 turns left. Jim has 6 turns left. Mike has 4. Daniel has 4.
Yeah, will be quite a puzzle for Nick. And Yeah.
Nick also sitting on not a whole bunch of money. He's got it splayed out there. We see sitting at $34.
Yeah.
All the other players
Well,
having a little bit more.
yeah. Probably if he doesn't have that industry card for Farm Brewery
Right.
now or so soon is the time to scout
Yeah.
for a to get that Farm Brewery up, and then you can deliver with your own beer
Hmm.
pottery and
Cotton.
level 3 cotton, and you might have enough time also sneak in one cotton, so you can
Spot somewhere right here.
uh,
Okay.
deliver to Colchester, but you
Right.
still need that link.
Yeah. Yeah. So we need a link. We need a cotton. We need potentially a scout. We need a beer. And then the money to get those is what Nick is looking at.
Better.
Jim just putting down links. Not
It's obviously better.
huge.
I saw that one.
Like I said.
Jim almost missing that pretty tasty link up
Okay.
going
Yeah.
into Nottingham.
And that's sometimes easy to miss those
Yeah.
connections, not realizing you get 2 points to connecting
Oh.
to
That's fine.
exit points.
That's spent.
That way. Can you throw a 15 on the purple
yeah,
face?
Yeah, you guys got all anyway. That goes out of the market. Card goes to. Okay.
Daniel with 4 turns left. We know he's gonna need to overbuild a beer
I think it was my best move.
in order to sell that level 2 good. Oh, I guess he doesn't. He doesn't have to because the 2 goods are still available to be used. The beers.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So Daniel.
And other one gives you 3 points also.
Hmm. Yeah, Daniel could just try to drop as many manufactured goods as possible and then sell them all with his 4 turns remaining, or add in a couple rail links as well, depending upon what's going to give you more points. Are there any tasty rail links that are missing? I mean, really, probably just into Gloucester and Oxford from Redditch. Those are 3 points each.
Yeah, and there's Stamford, Walsall 4 point
Hmm.
link.
Dumb enough, massively enough to
And
or dumb enough at all because he made all great moves.
otherwise, link points are getting pretty dry,
Kind of art all over
which is
Grey Western
expected
Trails.
at this point of the game.
That's for the continent.
Well, it's one of those where it's like, if you had, so like I know Alan took art the day after he won off because he was like, I already have a ring. I'm just gonna chill. I'm gonna vibe. I'm gonna relax. And there is something to be said about having to play on that last day where you're, in order to earn your way, or just because you love competing, and to be playing Great Western Trail and brain burning yourself until late.
Scout.
And
Yeah,
still
that we see the scout
doing
action.
a fantastic job on less sleep than some of these other guys who just got to go take a nap from 7 to 10 and then still up here
I
on
only
Stoke.
got sleep 4 hours last night, I think, because when I go back to room for shower, something like that, it's 2, 3.
Yeah,
So yeah,
couldn't
there's
decide.
enough time and resources, Nick, to deliver
Who does that? But
My biggest
Yeah.
issue was the fact
2
that I was
cottons,
saying, I wasn't gonna say it.
pottery.
Yeah.
My biggest issue was like, couldn't wake
you should have.
I wasn't gonna say
You
it.
should have.
You're already thinking it. I don't need to pile on.
Yeah,
And
the-
with delivery to Colchester, actually, he will be able to develop. And there might be, wait, he has a 4 cards, so he needs to link, he needs to sell. And there might be even chance to squeeze in a level 2 iron because he has an opportunity to develop that level 1 iron off, and there
Right.
is still Walsall open. And Coventry is also open, but does the iron get used? That's the other question. But there's still 1 action for him.
Yeah. He will.
Just
Yeah, he'll be
develop that
using.
iron.
Yeah, he'll be using 1 to Yeah, if he develops off, then the iron could go and then place the iron. Yeah, that's a really nice. That'll be a nice finisher.
One ring, and that's what matters.
That is exactly where I'm at right now. in
Like,
life.
you went home this year better than the last two.
Oh hell yeah!
So you can't.
And he had plenty of those iron cards in the beginning of this era. He has discarded 2 of those, so I'm not sure does he have left those anymore.
To be fair, as soon as I drew the 4 games, I was like, those are all bad games for me. None of those are. None of those will I be competitive in.
Yeah,
This one was actually one of the better ones, even though I never played them. Like, the game at least makes sense. White Castle.
the chatter at the table, Mike complimenting Daniel on playing Great Western Trail on the final day, going through a full tournament, then staying up, like thinking Great Western Trail is one of the most complex games in the lineup, then staying up until 3 a.m. Daniel saying, yeah, he's running also on only on 4 hours of sleep, coming into brass and being able to pull out such like systematic plays is really impressive.
Yes, yes. And fatigue at this point is like incredibly. It's putting a heavy toll on you, and whoever player advances to final, you still have to play one more game.
Yeah.
And you probably are hoping it's not the heavier one, because at that point your brain are already like totally mashed.
Yeah.
Deadly play. This can get flipped for 6 income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to smart or dumb, I don't know. Throw an iron out here in Coventry.
I think it's smart.
Oh, good.
Jim drops that iron, which also kind of takes away those
$4
So
back.
$12 paid.
that potential away from Nick
So I'm putting in
to do that
plus-
iron
plus-
play to finish it out.
plus 2.
So you really owe 14.
So here's my 12, my 5 back.
Yeah, I feel like in Rail Era, Jim and Nick got tangled up with
Yeah,
each other.
for sure.
Earlier on the round, Nick snatched Utaxeter and Farm Brewery right before Jim,
Yeah.
and now like Nick is a little bit trailing Jim's action. We don't know did Nick had that iron card is in his hand, but
Right. Yeah.
at this point he's definitely not playing it.
No, yeah, this is. I would have preferred to have played.
Daniel goes for a scout action.
But
Yeah,
I will
probably for that
know
box,
Yeah.
yes.
I,
Just so he can drop that box right into Birmingham.
I knew I don't have the skill that this game is Nick, and now that
Clearly
we have
don't
played,
And he
It's
might
gonna
not
be
have
the
a
skill of Daniel.
beer card to
So, I know
overbuild or
that
location
this
card
is-
to
Yeah.
overbuild his beer, so
Put that down.
Yeah, I don't think he does when we caught a little glimpse of his hand. And we can see most of the cards in his hand with that scout action, actually.
Alright. I will build this for 12 plus 2, so it's 14. So apparently I need to change 5. Oh, no, I'm gonna need more than 2. I'm gonna need more than 2. So I gotta grab this, which is 5. So 12 and 5 is 17. Hey, sweet dog. That works out perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put that on the board because I'm gonna ship it right away. I'm gonna put that on the board here. And then, oh my god, there's not a rail that connects that.
It's way around.
Oh, there it goes. And then I'm gonna ship with Birmingham to come here and take 3 victory points.
You don't use the beer, so you don't get the points.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't get the beer.
Yeah.
you don't have to use
that
beer.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, it's not.
Do you use any beer?
He does.
Use choose beer.
No, his are both level 2s. Level 2s don't use beer.
Yeah,
No, level 2s do use beer.
That's
Yeah,
so
Mike.
Yeah.
Jim's the one who did
This game's dumb.
I honestly forgot that they was beer. Great beers out there.
looking at playing 2 and then shipping them both. So he has 2 level 2s. They're both going to use beer. Zersh.
Can I go before you?
Well,
And this is what we were talking about earlier, that there was probably no rush to
I will just build
ship
my own
that
build.
pottery,
These deal.
because you could build that box and ship it with pottery, because basically shipping twice or delivering twice in a same era is not preferable.
Because if
You
not,
still want to do this
yeah, because it's still 4 points, which is
across 2 actual.
oh, because it's ship, so it's 4 points for not to. Damn it! Why do you gotta be so smart?
Yeah, Mike rolling it back a little. Not sure that he wants to do it anymore because he was trying to deny Daniel that beer, but also Daniel pointing out with his scout action from previous, he can build anywhere. He still has the location, and so he can overbuild in Colebrookdale if he needs to. Daniel's covered, and likely has the money to do so, and definitely has the money to do so. He's sitting on at least 32, and will get an income.
And that's the play he's probably looking for, to get that extra 5
Yeah.
for level 4 beer.
My cards are like full, so it doesn't make a difference. So I'm gonna rail.
Yeah, he would get 3 points by using the beer in Nottingham. So if he can squeak out, maybe an extra couple points by laying a rail down and using that beer up top.
That's 3. That's 4. I'll go take that one. I'm not connected because I can't just go somewhere. I can't just fly a rail across the board. This game's dumb. Is that gonna be a single? That's gonna be a single. So.
But there's still
That for 3
points.
For 4, I think those are my best moves.
Yeah.
Because I don't see anything better than a. All right.
Yeah, Mike just deciding to lay rails and scoop up those 3 and 4 point links, which makes sense. I don't really see a better move for Mike at this point in time either. Just with with goods, you only get 4 points for the level 3 good, and you're spending so much on it anyway.
You'll be like, that is a tree.
There's not a lot of spaces left.
Nick also having the benefit of that scout action, have that flexibility.
Oh no, White Castle finish.
You won't, no, they literally just stood up.
We won't be playing Heat in the finals.
What? Oh, because that's who won.
Austin won White Castle.
Good for him.
Considerably. It was like his top.
Brian informing the table. Brian Muller, who helps out with WSBG, was just saying White Castle is finished, but Brass will be the second table to finish. I think Brass is going to finish before Dune Imperium Uprising and Lost Ruins of Arnak in terms of play time, which is exceptional for these players in terms of playing such a complex game and playing so quickly and playing really well considerably. You'd think with such a speed, there might have been a lot more mistakes, but there were only a few hiccups, and then obviously coming down to these end decisions, the timing has been butting up against each other for some players, but
Yeah.
Oh. Yep. I said it was gonna flip. It was fine. I'm the one who's gonna flip it.
Yeah, you are.
yeah, we see Jim having a good decision to put that iron down. Enough iron will be spent by Nick to flip that iron when he drops his beer.
Deliver next round. He doesn't have any cash. How's he? Oh, because he's gonna make enough off income. So he's got no cash. How's he gonna do that?
Yeah, so Nick is going for really big delivery. We will see. Will it catch up Daniel? But that's definitely direction he needed to go.
It's exactly what he needed to do, right? We knew he needed to drop 3 cotton down.
Yeah, $9. What's the iron?
And one pottery.
And 1 pottery. It's a good chunk, a really good chunk of points.
Yes.
And Daniel doesn't have that many points on the board. Like, cotton gives you a ton of points, so plus with Nick getting those rails down, Nick has 7 rails down, I believe, on the board, if my quick count was correct, and Daniel should have 9. So very close in terms of rails and that for Nick, but Nick maybe being able to make up those points with the delivery of that cotton. I think it's going to be close.
I'm not gonna sit here and be like,
Yeah,
"Hey, on the table."
and like Daniel is a bit ahead on beer, and also he have built all the irons, and Nick don't.
Yeah,
But I feel like Nick's rail points are decent in the north, even though
yeah,
Daniel has surrounded that Birmingham area and giving ton of points for him.
yeah. But it's I mean it's pretty much yeah, I guess Daniel has four oh five yeah, five links into Birmingham versus Nick's two.
So it's
Yeah,
So
right
we
now it
see that
seems
overlook.
like yeah, Nick would be the only person who'd be able to catch Daniel at this point, judging by the board setup. But
One income.
yeah, and I pay now. Oh, this is my income.
Yep.
Right now.
Daniel does decide to build the beer in order to make his deliveries, rather than opting for the free beer to deliver,
Yeah, that's probably more
which
points.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
7.
Yeah, I don't really see a spot where he could have put his link to get three additional points because I think he improves upon his points by 5 by doing that. If he had delivered up to Nottingham, he would have gotten an extra 3 points. So if he had potentially done a rail worth 3 points and then delivered, he should have net more points. But there's also the slight benefit of taking that free iron off before Nick gets to it, but it's not really going to make a difference because Nick is at 15, 15 coins, and his beer is going to cost him 10 to put down. So not a meaningful difference there.
Yeah. And now we see Mike building up those rails around the map, which he might wanted to do earlier on the game. But those are probably the best place for him at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think Daniel left a point on the table. He could have built from Redditch down to Gloucester with a link, and that would have gotten him 3 points. And then delivered, which would have gotten him another 3 points. So he would have gotten 6 points from the delivery versus the 5 for upgrading his beer. But we'll see if that 1 point makes a difference.
Also, and then I will ship it up here using this beer for 3 extra points.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Plus 3. Thank you.
Also would have prevented Jim from doing this exact move.
Wrong person. Wrong person.
That is the wrong person. I just like to give myself points. It's
Go ahead and take a note.
1, 2, 3 to 33.
And my 1 income. And I think that's better than building 2 3-point rails.
Agreed.
And that was all I spent was the 11.
It's not gonna matter.
Yeah.
Person.
Sure.
And we see the final move from Nick, dropping down that beer, flipping it instantly,
16.
and flipping all of the tiles on the board.
25, 34, 44, sorry, I counted the victory points. Let's do this correctly. 5, 8, 11, 14, 19.
Yeah.
And there's
19 bump on income.
Income.
It's got 2 beer here and 2
Yeah.
here.
In a case of
2
tie,
here and 2 there.
Yeah.
But you flipped out.
income
Oh, because one of
Because
them.
I-
income tiebreaker, so
Sorry.
that would make a head on
19
income.
on income, is it?
Yeah, Nick has the dominant tiebreaker for sure, lapping the board at 20 income, it looks like.
I screwed up early enough that I
Yeah,
think that's.
you know, I'm not
At least I
prepared.
didn't screw up at the
Yeah.
end, so.
Maybe I waste maybe
An
4
extra
points.
loan. Well, you needed a loan for the tempo more than anything
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
God, he played so well.
Reconfirm Nick's 34.
But now we are heading for the most exciting part of the
Yeah,
game. We'll see what the score will be at the end.
And you're 38.
yeah.
I feel like most probable winner is here Daniel, but still Nick with that last huge delivery
Yeah.
has some chances to reach.
Yeah, that's the chance that he needed for sure. You can't really do it. I heard him say, "Well, I kind of screwed it up a little bit earlier, but at least I had a strong finish." So we'll see if that's enough to make up the gap.
6 here for 36.
We're counting Daniel's rail points right now.
7 here for 43.
He's at 43.
8 here for
51.
Another 6 makes 57.
57 in rail points.
57 and 50.
That's really good. And how he built 9 rails,
Yeah.
so it's more than a 6 points
Yeah.
per link, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good average points.
Especially for not
With
being
links.
up in that beer area as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Daniel is doing a double check.
51 and 57 is 108.
57. 6.5 points on average for his rails.
I would like to. I appreciate the speed.
And that's tough to
Not
pull when you
amazing
build
over there, just
9 rails to have that high average.
Yeah.
5,
Points
It's
per
just
link.
crazy, but
8, 11,
Now we're going to Mike's rails
16, 21.
at 21 right now.
7 here makes 28. 6 here is 34, 39, 42, 48 is what I count.
Mike with 48 points and 10 rails.
38. So that's 46, 86.
So an average of 4.8 per rail.
Yeah. And usually you are looking 5-point average.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
pretty
close to
close. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 6, 12, 17, 22, 27, 32, 40.
40 points in rails for Jim
73.
with 7 rails.
So that's close to that 6-point average
Yeah.
also.
Pretty solid for Jim, yeah.
Yeah. It's only 7 rails, but still like really decent
7 and
points.
12,
8.
20,
Yep. 36.
26, 33, 41, 45.
45 for Nick
45 and 34
with
is,
7, I believe.
7, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's-
That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's again equal to Daniel 6.5 per rail, right?
No. Yeah. Even though there's 2 less links
Yeah.
Nick built, but still really
And-
good average.
And that's a great average, especially because he's going to probably outmatch Daniel here.
Yeah.
Huge score.
68.
is nuts. That's a nice score.
Wow, Daniel sitting at 168 is the score that they need to
is
catch.
monstrous. That is monstrous score in
Yeah.
a 4-player game.
Yeah,
Usually you're looking winning scores are usually between 150 and 155, and
Yeah.
pulling 168 is phenomenal.
for 86 is 128.
2 and then 40 is 128.
128 for Mike. Not enough to catch Daniel. Certainly going to be hard to.
And if you consider like this is not Mike's game, he
Yeah.
hasn't played that much. That's decent
That's a
score.
great score. Great score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
49.
We're doing Jim's right now, leaving Nick to the end for the big reveal.
58.
Yep. 58.
8 and 50 is a buck 31.
So 131 for Jim. Jim 3 points ahead of Mike. Jim managing to make up a decent amount when he didn't get those 2 things flipped over.
Yep.
But now we'll see where Nick falls. Can he hit that 168? It's going to be pretty tough.
30.
Yes. Those are really big industry points.
Yeah.
what he is getting.
He is 78.
78 and 78 is 156, 157.
157, which is
Wow.
also like with those points,
Yeah.
you it's highly likely that you get a win. But Daniel
Yeah.
pulling that amazing plays and capitalizing on opportunities to
Yeah.
get got those monstrous points.
You can see that Nick did make up ground in that second era as well. The
Yes,
gap is between him and Daniel is less than it was in the Canal era. So Nick definitely did come out on top in the Rail era. But it is Daniel who takes it with 168. Wow, for a four-player brass,
yeah,
that's enormous.
yes, that's crazy.
Hmm.
I think I have never scored that many points in four player game. So that is phenomenal.
Yeah, huge congrats to Daniel. And it is he did capitalize on those opportunities. They were presented for him. He had a little bit of a chance to eke out that efficiency, right? We do see the fluctuation of scores as you start out here, you go up, and then you go down as everybody around the table sort of hones in. So every game of brass being different and giving that different potential, but still Nick ending up with 157 and Daniel with 158, that 168, that
Uh,
yeah, that's
yeah,
huge.
yeah, and that's really tough for Nick because with his points you are expected
Right.
to win.
Yeah.
So great game by Daniel, but and also Nick, but also all other players. If you considering
Yeah.
how much they have played, this game was really fun to watch, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, me too. Yuka, thank you so much for commentating with me as well. It was super fun to watch this with you. And yeah, what a really dynamic game. So many bits. I think Nick also had that detriment of being fought by Jim in those key areas as well, which ended up slowing him down
Yeah.
and allowing Daniel to take that edge. He might have been able to have a little bit more too, which just you see the ripple effects of everything that's happening, and it was very cool to see all three players going for that typical strategy, and then Daniel just doing his own thing and knowing that he could make up the points later, and then Nick responding by not putting Cotton down in that corner to limit his points. But yeah, still a very exciting game.
Yes, and it also how Daniel managed to uh, play without option for a call,
Right?
and the market was expensive
Yeah.
throughout the second era.
Yeah.
So definitely 168 is, like I said, phenomenal, but also a bit
Yeah.
surprising to not having that access for call and like make up your loan and points besides.
For sure. And he had those two massive double like quad rail turns with the beer
Yeah.
drop and then the using both of them, which definitely helped. But were super expensive, and the other players made sure that that market was expensive for him as well. So.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Well,
but
Daniel moves on into the final. If you haven't seen the final game, it was drawn as a game of Acquire. Acquire was our final game for 2025. You heard Brian talking that Austin Lee was in it, Daniel Ng was in it, and if you haven't seen the other games, you can tune into WSBG, or you can check out the final, which we live streamed on Dice Tower, and we will be re-releasing it over on WSBG's channel as well throughout the coming months. But you can go watch it now on that Dice Tower network, or wait until it's over here. Yuka, that was a phenomenal game. It was super fun to commentate with you. Do you have any other final thoughts before we wrap up?
it was a really pleasure to do this with you, and I'm really happy to have this opportunity to commentate this game and see with you, and also Uh, if you are considering to go to WSBG and never have been, like you said, it's November 1st, last time to get
That's true. Good segue.
early bird. And from all of my heart, 100%, if you are a board gamer who likes to compete but likes to play in a friendly environment, that's the place you want to go, and you will be playing with the best board gamers in the world.
Yeah,
And really hoping to able to come next year, but it's a tough trip.
for sure.
trip for
Well, it's
Finland.
how long's the flight from Finland?
It depends what kind of routes you get, but it's like between 15 and 25. Like it
Wow.
depends on a
Yeah,
layover.
yeah.
But yeah, one thing I want to say in the end, I'm not like super social media guy, but I do have board game Instagram account, board game Jukka. If you want to just follow some stuff around there, I'm not super active there, but I will say that there is things which are upcoming. So maybe if you are interested about board gaming content, feel free to follow me on Instagram.
Absolutely. We'll put a link to that Instagram in the description down below. Go follow Yuka. He's a two-time brass ring champion. He knows his board gaming stuff, people. Go check him out on Instagram. That's great. That's awesome. I'm gonna go do that right now from WSBG's account. Oh, I don't know if I have access to it on the Instagram, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, thanks so much, Yuka, for jumping on board. I love hearing that. Like I love that. I feel very passionate about the event as well, and I hear it from all of our players of the enjoyment that they get from playing. And I hope that if you are watching and you've never been to WSBG, but you've seen the game, you saw the players adapt their skills, and thought, well, maybe that could be me. It could be you. There is a possibility. Come join us at WSBG. It's a great environment where people are there to compete, but we're also there to uplift the board gaming hobby. I think it is the best of both worlds. It is my sort of perfect convention in terms of the type of people who are there, because I love trying to up my skills and play at another level. And I find I always learn little things just by interacting and watching the game. So hopefully you will join as well. And it's lovely to hear that Yuka keeps coming back from all the way from Europe. What's your excuse? We'll see you. We'll see you there. Yuka, thank you so much. Again, use that code EARLYBIRD to get your ticket. This is the last day, so use that code. But from all of us here at WSBG, we hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Chris George.
And this is Jukka. Thank you, Chris. It was such a blast.
Thank you. And what are you waiting for? It's time to get in the game.